So there you have it, folks. It's the Blitz and the Warriors both announced. Coming up next, we have the national anthems. So don't go way too far. We're going to head up to our commentary booth just now. Warriors both announced. Coming up next, we have the national anthems. So don't go way too far. We're going to head up to our commentary booth just now. Good plan. So we'll see you in a second.
The chairman of FAFA, who will be conducting the coin toss today on behalf of FAFA, the British Association of American Football. Charles Fraser McNamara. Where the hell did you get up so?
There's a VIP lift, he just didn't tell you about it.
So we see the teams there at the coin toss. Looks like the Blitz are going to receive this kick. So Neil, what are your thoughts on this game?
First of all, I think two extremely well-run teams. You know, two teams that are well coached, with Mark Moss and Tony Allen, and I think we'll see some real genuine athletes on the field. As I mentioned in the earlier final that we talked about, there are players on this field that would be good enough for me to have played in NFL Europe and gone on and competed to play in the NFL. So I think if the Warriors can come out and not have the big stage fright that I think they had at the start of last year's final, they've got the form, they know they can beat the Blitz. I think then they come out and win this game. But the Blitz will know that second half of the game they played in the regular season, they went up tempo, no huddle, and the Warriors were a bit gassed with that. So it'll be interesting to see, but I'm just giving the edge to the Warriors.
Okay.
The Blitz love their no huddle stuff. It's how Mike Carlitz plays football. He's their offensive coordinator, and of course also the head coach of Great Britain, and they followed that same example. They'll be calling things in from the sideline with hand signals and with pictorial maps and stuff. So you'll see quite a bit of that if you keep an eye on their sideline and the cameras, and yeah, that's what they do. It's going to be an interesting game for sure. Masses of talent on both sides of the ball. There's so many guys that can turn a game.
So we're all set to kick off this Premier Division final. The London Warriors, they went a perfect 10-0 in the regular season. beat the London Olympians in their semi-final to get here to Leeds. And the London Blitz, they of course are the defending champions. They went 9-1 in the regular season. Their only loss coming to the London Warriors. They beat the East Kilbride Pirates in the semi-final. A tough contest on the road. So these are the two best teams in British football. They are going to go head to head here at Leeds in Britbowl 27. Here's your opening kickoff of the game.
Big kick. Fielded at the...
And the ball's dropped, picked up inside his own 5. And good coverage, so that is going to be the Blitz working out the shadow of their own goalpost. They're at about their own 12 or 13 yard line.
And a nice kick to start off there, actually pinned them deep. Let's see what the defence can do to hold them.
Definitely good coverage with that. They had 4 or 5 guys in a position to make a tackle, so nice job. And this is the Blitz now looking to just come out early doors and I guess set the tempo.
Welcome everybody to the South Leeds Stadium for this, the Britbowl 2013 final.
So first offensive play of this game. Blitz go 4 wide receivers, single back. Fred Boyle operating out of the shotgun. He fakes the handoff, under pressure already, and goes down in the middle of the line there, and the tackle's made by number 97, Jay Cole. Fred Boyle stepping up, feeling the pressure early on.
Absolutely. They ran a fake zone right there from a doubles left formation, 2 receivers either side, running back on the left, offset from the quarterback, and they, it was nothing there when he went to throw the ball.
Second and long, hand off inside. A little bit of running. Oh, they're hitting for real already in this game. Temi Odiyemi. Temi Odiyemi on the carry.
Temi, one of the 2 running backs in the Blitz squad who were out with the GB team earlier this year. Temi and Deji's the other one who we'll see later on, but that was Ariel Mafondo coming downhill fast, and you can expect a lot more of that from him, number 30 from the Warriors. He is a serious athlete.
And Ariel's one of the guys I genuinely believe could have been an NFL player.
Ariel was involved heavily in the international player program, which was sort of the replacement for the NFL Europe that happened, and one of my good friends, Ryan Hunter, was roommates with him, and the 2 of them are still good mates to this day, and they're both phenomenal athletes, and he talks all the time about Ariel and the rivalry that they had, and he's a fantastic athlete. I was speaking to Jerry Anderson before this game actually about Ariel, and he was talking about when he first saw him play as a 15-year-old at an NFL players sort of youth tournament up in the north of England, and he said he was running with the ball and he was playing running back at the time, and he just levelled a guy from the Wolverines. And he says at that point he just thought to himself, we've got a serious athlete in our hands here.
Wind it down. Back it down. Give it a whistle.
So
okay, looks like we're going to replay the down after all that, so it's still 2nd and 9 coming up for the Blitz.
So 2nd down and 9 for the London Blitz. Fred Boyle out of the shotgun, he rolls to his right, takes a look downfield, he's got time to throw. Pass intended for number 6, Charlie Joseph, falls incomplete.
That's Charlie Joseph we were talking about briefly before the game. Now Charlie Joseph's first experience of football was with the Blitz youth, where he graduated to Blitz Junior, where he's graduated to Blitz Senior, and he was one of their best players last year. I think he might have won the team MVP award, but fantastic talent, and great to see the guys they bring through. Coming out of trips right this time.
3rd down, trips right for the Blitz. 3rd and 9 coming up early in this Premier Division final. Tough situation deep in their own territory. Boyle takes the snap, looks downfield, he has a man. Pass is complete.
Jack Daly, what a grab.
Jack Daly with the catch.
Now, if you remember back to my discussion with AP on the sideline, Jack Daly's the guy I said to watch out for. He is a phenomenal athlete. Played for the Tamworth Phoenix until this season, where he moved to, he lives in Oxford and now travels to London to play his football. What a player.
Big catch by Jack Daly early in the game. Fred Boyle putting the ball on the money down the left sideline. It's 1st and 10. Run up the middle.
Right.
Big run up the middle there.
Just pick up straight off.
That was zone right there from Temi.
Temi Odiyemi with the carry. As close to 1st down yardage, brings up 2nd and short.
Yeah, they're quite aggressive on D.
Temi gets the carry again. That is a 1st down. Breaking tackles up the middle. Good effort, good strong running. And the Blitz suddenly are in Warriors territory after being right up against their own goal line.
Absolutely. That was the first time we've seen them use motion. They motioned the receiver from right to left there, faked the handoff and then ran zone right, and that's one of their offensive coordinator's favourite plays, and just keeps running the feet, following his blocks and breaking tackles.
So 3 wide receivers, 2 running backs in the backfield. Boyle takes the snap, looks to his left. That's Jack Daly in and out of the hands of his wide receiver, who's already looking upfield, thinking he'd made the catch, and the ball falls incomplete. Second down.
Yeah, that's a rare mistake from Jack Daly, and the ball was put right on the money as well. All he had to do was make the grab and turn upfield for a couple of yard gain, but as you say, Neil, his mind was on other things by the time the ball got to him, and that's a classic mistake.
Second down for the Blitz. First drive of this Britbowl 27. Temi Odiemi gets the pitch, tries to get round left end, breaks one tackle, which would have stuffed him for a loss, and still dropped for a couple of yards loss. Good defence, good pursuit by the London Warriors there.
Exactly what you talked about at the start with the athletes on the field. The speed that they covered that from left to right was superb from the defence's point of view. Some great speed.
As we said, their pursuit of the ball is such fast athletes.
So the Blitz have already converted one 3rd and long. They face another one now, 3rd and 12 on this opening drive. Man in motion. Boyle takes a high snap. He's looking right. It's Charlie Joseph down the right sideline, falls incomplete. Good coverage on the play by Samuel Obi, and the Blitz will punt.
And that's Sam Obi there against Charlie Joseph, both of whom played for the Great Britain team, so they're guys that know each other well. But Mike Callan's play calling is quite aggressive. If he likes the matchup, he gets on a one-on-one of the sideline, he's going to throw the ball deep every time. So just keep the defence honest as well, as much as anything else.
So Blitz to punt. Number 1, Jeremy Sims back to receive. Veteran receiver. The ball goes off to the side and Sims will leave that one alone. Skips out of bounds. That's fielded at the 22-yard line.
And that's Fab Gargiulo, the linebacker, who also doubles as punter, which is exactly what we're talking about earlier on today, AP, where you've got these guys, you know, Sims is a receiver, he'll also return kicks and punts. You've got Gargiulo as a linebacker, he'll also punt. Jack Daly's a receiver, he'll also kick for them. So it's guys getting the job done over the field.
Absolutely, these guys with skills on special teams really helps, A, get them on the field, but B, it adds another threat to them.
Most definitely. So the first sight of the defence, and the defence led by number 20 there in the blue and white, Ed Morgan, who was a Great Britain captain, played his last game for the Great Britain team earlier last month. And he's a fantastic player, has been for a long time. Started his playing career at quite close to here, actually, at Leeds Celtics, before playing for Gateshead, who we saw earlier on today, and finally finishing his career at the Blitz.
So first down for the Warriors.
So here come the London Warriors, their first drive of Britbowl 27. What can they do with the ball? The Blitz did change field position with that first drive, and the Warriors now start on their own 27-yard line. They go 3 wide receivers, 2 in the backfield. It's Jerome Allen at quarterback, working out the pistol formation. Looks like he's changing the play. Allen takes the snap. Hand off, nothing much there. That's dropped for a loss as well. Mark Penn found in on the tackle.
Short carry on first down.
You'll see the defence, the Blitz are running as a 2-4-5 or a 4-2-5, where they have 2 outside, their defensive ends are standing up in a 5 technique, which is outside the tackles, and then they have those 2 inside guys, and they'll move them from anywhere between over the guards to right inside to right outside, and stacked behind them they'll have the linebackers, but they've got a lot of speed, as do the Warriors defence, and they can cover the ground fast.
That was Dwayne Jackson on the carry. Not much yardage there, so it's 2nd and long now for the Warriors. Allen takes the snap, he's looking left, fires over the middle, in and out of the hands of the linebacker, Fab
Gargiulo, yeah.
Yeah.
And
wow.
You'll see there they started a 2-high look and they rotated the safeties into 1-high, just trying to give the Warriors something to think about, so they can't read off what they're doing. And it was unlucky because it was one of those situations where Fab gets a hand at it and actually makes it more difficult for his DB, who was in a good position to make a pick. But you know, that's the nature of the beast. These guys are aggressive and going after the ball.
These teams score a lot of points, but 2 good defences out here as well.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
3rd and long coming up for the London Warriors on their first drive. The Blitz did move the ball a little bit on their first possession. No positive play yet for the Warriors. Will it come here on 3rd and long? Allen fields the snap. Moves to his left. He's fired to the left. It's Jeremy Sims in and out of his hands. Would have been good enough for a first down, but the play's broken up, and that's Lennox Johnson, former MVP of Britbowl, who breaks up that pass, which would have been good for a first down.
And when we talked about Adel Mafondo and Ryan Hunter sharing a room at camps, that was the third guy in the room, Lennox Johnson. The three of those guys, phenomenal athletes together, and that's a great job. And let's be honest, Sims rarely drops the ball, so nice work, Lennox Johnson.
So Ian Jackett on to punt. And 2 returners back at around about their own 25-yard line for the London Blitz. And the kick's away. And good coverage there by Leon Jackson with the tackle. Orion Madobi with the return for the Blitz. There is a flag on the play.
Flag down at this near sideline, right in front of the Warriors bench.
An interesting one there, because I don't know whether it happened or not, but there was a call from the Warriors sideline that the ball had hit one of the Blitz players, which of course makes it a live ball. Now, you always wonder whether it actually happened or whether he shouted that out.
Well, it's a sideline interference call against the Warriors bench.
So these are the sort of things where it feels like it's a big game and that players are distracted, or this sort of thing that happened last year at this time. You know?
Yeah,
so
exactly. You need to really cut all of that out and just stay focused.
And let's be honest, they covered that really well, and they would have had great field position, or they would have been defending great field position. And here we are now. They're the 36-yard line of the Blitz, and it's those things that make a real difference, especially when you're trying to set the tempo.
So 1st and 10 for the Blitz at their own 36-yard line. We're in the first quarter. There's no score. Fred Boyle pitches to Temi Odiemi. Nice cut upfield. Gets across the 40. Driven back after about 4 yards on the play.
A nice block there, left tackle Rob Hardy, another Great Britain player, doing a fantastic job driving that defensive end out, and he cut the ball up inside nicely. Good job.
I know it's a strange thing to say, but that's the first breakout play of the day, really. A 6-yard game, can you believe that?
Just shows though, these are two defences watertight. It's going to be a close game, this one. No one's going to run away with it.
Second down coming up. Fred Boyle out the pistol. Hands off to Orion Madobi, and again, every yard earned in this Britbowl is going to have to be hard fought and hard worked for.
Definitely. Orion Madobi, one of the two Madobi brothers who play for the Blitz. Sky, two guys with great names as well, Orion and Sky. That's some good names. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Every inch these guys get, they're going to have to grab for.
3rd down and about 5 to go. Boyle's going to keep it himself. He's running around left end, and he's picked up first down yardage. Good run by Fred Boyle. Niall Scott Grant on the tackle, but not before Boyle moves the chains, and it's a first down for the London Blitz.
Fred Boyle's, it doesn't, from a distance doesn't look like a big guy, but he's absolutely solid, and he's a fierce competitor. And when it's time to do the dirty work, he's front of the queue. So nice job from him. I don't know whether that was a design keep. He didn't really seem to look for much of a pass.
No, he didn't. I think it was.
He just took off.
1st and 10 for the Blitz. Boyle takes a snap. Hands off to Orion Madobi. There's a flag right in the area of offensive holding. See what the call is.
Looked like he would have picked up about 1 or 2 there, but I suspect that'll be for holding from where the flag came from.
And it is. So this one's going back 10 yards.
Brian Yates, referee. Our umpire today is Henry Richardson. Pete Tom, head linesman.
Remember, you can get in touch with us on Gridiron TV here, either through Twitter or through Facebook. Make sure you send us in your tweets either to @Gridiron_TV or to @NeilReynoldsNFL. We'll try and give you a mention where possible.
That means that, funnily enough, it's the actual action of holding a player on the offence is not a penalty in itself. Holding and taking him down is.
So 1st down and long for the Blitz. Fred Boyle fakes in the backfield, dumps the ball off over the middle to Gary Welch, who gets back to about the first line of scrimmage and bring up 2nd down from there.
Nice little middle screen there. That was a play that the GB team had success with against Italy. Exactly like that. It's simple stuff. Let the defenders through and then set the screen up in front of it.
Yeah, it looks like they're keeping the tempo high here as well.
Britbowl takes the snap. He's got time to throw. He's testing the middle of the field. Wide open down the middle. Oh, just overthrows Jack Daly, and he had him. Daly had gotten behind the safeties, behind the secondary. Boyle can't quite connect.
And that's what he does. He's deceptively quick, and if that had been a yard closer to him, or he'd been a yard further infield, we'd be looking at a touchdown there.
Certainly taking a few shots early in this game, the London Blitz.
Yeah, they're looking confident.
Not afraid to stretch the field and test this Warriors defence early in this game. 3rd and 10 coming up now. Boyle back to pass. He steps up in the pocket. He's going to have time to throw. Now he tucks it away and he's got to run. And he's brought down. Ariel Mafondo with the big hit. That is a big hit from the Warriors, and that's going to bring up a punting situation.
I tell you, that's not a hit you want to be taking, especially when there's a tackle comes in from the left, makes it harder to defend yourself, and Ariel Mafondo lowers the boom on him.
I thought it was one of the noticeable things in the final last year and the year before at Crystal Palace, just the hitting on the field when these two teams.
You could hear it from the stands for sure.
So there goes the punt. Jeremy Sims is going to have a shot at returning this one. He's got his hands on it. Let's see, good coverage. Sims fights through the first one, spins out of another tackle, and is across the 15-yard line before being gang tackled to the ground.
That's another thing that's noticeable in the games with teams at this level, is that the pursuit from the other players is quite often against younger players or against less experienced teams. When guys think the first guy there's made the tackle, they stop hustling.
Absolutely.
And then when he breaks it, he's gone. But in this situation, when he did break the first couple of tackles, guys 3 and 4 were right on top and managed to cover it up. So good job from the punt coverage team, but you know, a nice effort from Sims.
I remember playing against the London Olympians when the Olympians were in their prime, and I was on kick return. And every one, it felt like they were holding you up. Everyone, you were getting hit by about 7 different body shots.
It's that hustle that makes the difference, isn't it?
So 1st and 10 for the Warriors, their second possession of this final. Allen takes the handoff to Dwayne Jackson.
Ed Morgan coming in late over the top, always looking for a piece of the action.
Nothing much there for Jackson. He gets out close to a 19-yard line, and that'll bring up a second down.
They ran right at number 95 there. That's Sean Hopkins, and he's no slouch. He's been around a long time, and he's another of the second-generation players we talked about. His dad played for pretty much every team in Britain, so he's been around a long time.
More than I did.
Yeah, possibly. He's sitting over there with the straw motor on. You can see him just from here. He must have played for about 6 or 7 different teams, but great player, and as is his son.
Second down and long for the Warriors, still looking for their first big play on offense in this final. Jerome Allen takes the snap, looking left, goes back across the middle. He's got a man downfield, and that's just overthrown there. The pass intended for Romaine Jackson. There is a flag in the backfield.
That was unlucky. Again, it was very similar to the Jack Daly situation, just ever so slightly overthrown, but he didn't have quite the same separation from the defender as Daly did. It was quite good coverage, but could be a holding play, could be a line out of the quarterback when the flag's around there. We'll wait and see what the referees have to say. But not much in it so far. It's been nip and tuck.
Both teams looking to try and take advantage and get downfield quickly, take some shots.
Half distance to the goal, so that's from the 17-yard line. So that'll be 8.5-yard loss, which will take them to the 8.5-yard line.
Still second down, and that's about 2nd and 17 coming up.
Apologies, I'll take them to the 10.
So 2nd and long for the Warriors. They're on their own 10-yard line. They've got trips right, single wide receiver to the left, single man in the backfield. Jerome Allen going to take the snap from centre. Barking out the signals at the line of scrimmage, hands off. Dwayne Jackson up the middle, bounces off one tackler, gets across to about the 12 or 13-yard line, then he's dragged down.
Penfold again on the tackle, nice job. They're not getting much inside at the moment with the run game. It's been pretty well defended by the Blitz.
Dwayne Jackson with 13-wicket carry again, short pick-up, he's bringing up 3rd and 15.
Couple of little replacements there for the Blitz, preparing for this 3rd and 15 situation. Warriors something to think long and hard.
Struggling to establish a passing game as well as a running game.
They are, but there's been some excellent coverage. It's all too easy to say.
So 3rd and long for the Warriors. Trips right, single wide receiver to the left. Allen takes the snap, He's being chased now. He's going to have to get rid of this ball. He hits Jeremy Sims. Tiptoeing catch on the sideline.
There you go.
Beautiful work by
you
Jeremy
go.
Sims. First down yardage.
Great work there to buy himself some time and then finding him on the edge there.
A good separation from his defender. Came back. That's a veteran play where he knows his quarterback's in trouble. Comes back towards him to give himself some room and
Absolutely.
makes a nice grab. It's a good job.
So that's going to give them another first down on their own 29-yard line.
First down for the Warriors. Running room round the outside and first down yardage. Good run there by Kingsley Egiog.
Warriors number 33 with a big pick up there on first down. Kingsley Egiog. My apologies, not enough for a first down. It was about 9 yards.
So that's going to mark him 1 yard short. It's going to be second down and 1.
Kingsley, a former Farnham Knight. Martin Richmond will know.
So just short of the first down yardage. It's going to be second down for the Warriors. Egiog on the carry again. He's going to be stuffed for a loss this time. So lost yardage on that play. It's going to bring up third down.
It's Madibi and Gargiolo on the tackle. Nice job.
Both these teams are great advert of how to build a program. These are not teams. Do not consider them as teams. These are programs. And they are bringing through the next generation two completely different models. One by a development model and the other one through youth and junior. Although the Blitz do have youth incentives. But the Warriors created from the ground up, really, a real pyramid team.
3rd and 3 for the Warriors.
So 3rd and 3 coming up for the London Warriors. They have 3 wide receivers, 2 running backs in the backfield. Allen takes the snap. He's looking downfield. He does have a man open and he overthrows number 8, Ian Jackett, who was open there originally. I think Allen was a little bit slow to look out that way.
Yeah. They ran a little pick route there where the defenders came down and pressed, came to play right over the top of those receivers, and they ran a little crossing route, which means that one coverage defender runs into another and gives a little bit of separation. But you're right, the quarterback was a little bit slow to get the ball out to him, so it may not have been his first read, of course, but that's what he came back to, certainly.
So a punting situation, Orion Madabi and Michael Abu-Jouadi. I'm just going to call him Michael.
Michael's good, yep.
Michael's back there. So there's the kick. Fair catch signaled and fielded. They're going to hit him anyway.
Looking for a little bit of extra.
Andrew Stedman with the late hit. No flag on the play though.
Well done on the referees as well. Common sense there.
So not too much going in the game so far. We've got 69 offensive yards for the Blitz versus 26 for the Warriors. So the Blitz moving the ball a little bit more than the Warriors.
And a lot of that will be that big sideline catch by Jack Daly, whereas I think if you take that away it would probably be fairly even.
So 1st and 10, the Blitz at their own 29-yard line. Fred Boyle back to pass. He has time to throw. Nice catch by Madabi, wrapped up quickly by number 21 for the London Warriors. That's Jeff Brown, veteran NFL Europe player there as well.
Yeah, I think that was Deji Ali, number 23 in the backfield now. I think that was a nice grab there from him. He's they're two GB running backs, 23 and 28 in the backfield now, Deji and Temi. It's a great grab.
Fantastic.
And there's Temi Odiyemi with the carry. And scoots through, dives across past the marker, gets across the 40-yard line. That's a first down for the London Blitz.
That's a nice job, great lead block from Deji, and then they just motion to that queen left, so they love that formation where they'll have the offset fullback, same as we talked about with Colchester, and they run the ball inside a little bit more out of it, and it's very, very effective for them. They have three receivers and then the offset fullback and the running back.
Reference there for all those who remember Al-Madaski.
First down and 10 for the London Blitz. They send Deji Ali in motion. Boyle fields the snap. He's a little roll to the left. He's going to keep this one himself again. And he might not want to keep too many more of them. Ariel Mafondo with another big hit. He's just bullying people out there, and that's going to bring up 2nd and long.
Yeah, he's a player that's just working on a different level. He's all over the field at the moment. Great. You're absolutely right though. If you're a quarterback and you've got to keep a clear head to make your reads and to recognise the signals, taking hits like that's not going to help you do it.
It's an anchor on that defence for the Warriors.
Second down and long for the London Blitz. Defences have dominated the early stages of this Premier Division final here at Britbowl. Temi Odeyemi on the carry, good for about 3.
Doing the dirty work inside.
Certainly is that. It's going to bring up a 3rd and long, and the last thing you want when defences are playing this well is 3rd and long, 2nd and longs. Not good situations. Boyle takes the snap, fakes the handoff, he's going to roll to his left. Dragged down behind, nice defensive play, number 52 for the London Warriors. That's Niall Scott Grant, and Mafondo was closing in as well.
And Niall Scott Grant's been busy so far as well. He's made a few tackles, or he's been there or thereabouts when they've been getting made. So yeah, great stuff.
So another punting situation. Number 1, Jeremy Sims comes on to return for the Warriors. We're still awaiting our first point in this Premier Division final here at Britbowl 27 in Leeds. Great defensive struggle going on between the Blitz and the Warriors. And the kick's away. Takes a Blitz, takes a Warriors bounce away from Jeremy Sims.
So we've got Tom S. Britton watching live from New York City. Great coverage, guys. Let's go London Blitz. My man Jamie Charles, who's a Pirates player who's living down in Bristol. I think he's likely to be playing for the Blitz next year. He's asking what the venue and atmosphere are like at the final. He says he's loving the stream, so I think we'll agree the atmosphere's been cracking so far, and the venue's great for a game like this.
Look at you breaking news on TV as well, that who he's going to sign
that's
for.
it.
I like it.
I tell you, JC's a hell of a player.
He might not have made his mind up yet.
Well, you know, at least it'll mean the offers will come in, you know.
Yeah. 1st and 10 for the London Warriors. Their 3rd possession. It's Dwayne Jackson up the middle, and there's not much doing there either. Maybe a couple of yards on the play. Good defence again from the London Blitz.
Yeah, Gareth Thomas saying there's the best D-lines in the UK on show. Warriors number 1, Blitz number 2, and I'm pretty sure you wouldn't get much argument for that. It would just be an argument as to who was 1 and who was 2 out of those pair.
Yeah, you're absolutely right there.
Second down.
Whichever one you're talking to, you say is number 1.
Absolutely. That's the way to do it. That's the way to do it.
Got to get a foot on the ladder and really start putting a drive together, Mark.
So 2nd down for the London Warriors.
We certainly had a couple of first downs, it'd be nice.
They have 2 wide receivers to the left. Wide receiver split to the top of the screen. Allen fakes the pass, he hits Jacket. Ian Jacket breaks the tackle, and tiptoes out of bounds. Lennox Johnson just did enough to knock him off balance and knock him out of bounds.
If he'd kept his balance, he'd had the sideline to work with there, but that's a great catch. And again, another one of those pick routes there, make it difficult for the DBs to cover. My man Ian Moore watching all the way from sunny Barcelona, appreciating my clothing.
Hola, get down.
Jerome Allen in particular, starting to find a few lanes.
3rd down, more manageable.
Blitz D.
3rd down and 4. Allen working out of that pistol formation again. There's 2 wide receivers to the top. Fakes the handoff. He's going to fire downfield. It's Ian Jacket again, and that's good for a 1st down. He is gang tackled over midfield, but that is a 1st down pass. 2 in a row now for Jacket.
Nice tackle there from Ed Morgan, first man to the ball, wrapping him up. The Lancashire Wolverines are asking what the attendance is. We don't have a figure on that, but we'll see if we can get that for later on.
Yeah, we'll try and announce it at the end of the stream here, but we're in the top deck of the stands here, right at the very top of the stadium, getting the best view, and everyone's underneath us, so we can hear all the noise, but we haven't seen how many people have flown in yet.
Yeah, that's it. And the stadium commentators, Mike Klusky, formerly the Yorkshire Rams, and also does a lot of stuff for the various Leeds University teams.
So 1st and 10 for the London Warriors. Here comes the Blitz. Picked up. Allen fires downfield. He's got Ian Jacket again. Can't reel it in down the right sideline. That should have been caught. He got behind the defensive backs and cannot make the catch. 2nd down coming.
Did everything to make the catch there, as you say, beat the defender, had space down the sideline. I don't think he was in a position to break that for a touchdown, but he certainly had a chance to make a big gain and in and out of the hands again. nervy opening though.
And I think that's goodbye for today for the Senators. We wish them well on their way. Safe journey back to Gateshead.
So, second down for the London Warriors, and they look like they got a free one here. Jerome Allen just takes a knee.
The D lineman took a little step forward, was just off balance, couldn't get back on side in time. Centre did the wise thing, snap the ball, get yourself some 3 yards. They've actually put the stadium lights on here now. The sun's obviously starting to set behind us, and get the stadium lights on, make sure that the transition's a bit easier for the light.
You can see the shadows coming
to
through.
the lead skyline.
It's a beautiful thing.
Beautiful. What's that purple building?
I was wondering the same, yeah. 3 shades of purple. I think it's made from Lego.
It does look like a Lego building.
So, some of the crew here, the producers were here last night setting things up, and we had it all illuminated. It looked quite bizarre, like a mini New York skyline almost.
Really?
You didn't expect
They
that.
do call Leeds the New York of Yorkshire.
No, obviously.
That's not what I said.
It's a brave call, that. That's a brave comparison. Let's go then, second down for the London Warriors.
5 to go.
Allen takes the snap, he's going to throw again, he's under pressure. But he's got a man, it's Jeremy Sims. Can he chase it down again? Just overthrown there. And there's opportunities here for these teams. They are stretching the field. They're very close, but they're not quite getting it done. There is a flag on the play. This might be a late hit. As a personal foul, a late hit, roughing the passer.
Yeah, he took a big hit there. He'll be a little bit slow to get up, but again, he's a warrior, and he'll shake himself off. Go over the sideline for his call, we're ready to go.
And these yards on penalties, they're valuable at the moment because you're not moving it offensively.
That's exactly it. Nobody's really making huge strides down the field, so every time you get 15 yards on a personal foul or whatever, or a roughing the passer call, it makes a big difference. That's taking them into the blitz half.
Especially when you've got games so even if they can't complete 20 yards of passing, they can just take 20 yards of penalties if it's given to them.
Yeah, all counts the same.
So following that roughing the passer call against Alan Blake, 15 yards tacked on for the London Warriors. And they are in blitz territory for the first time in this final. Jerome Allen working out the pistol formation. He's got 2 receivers to the top of the screen. He pitches, and this is a run around the right end and picks up maybe 3 or 4 yards. It's Jermaine Birchie on the carry.
Number 9 on the carry for
Little
the
Darren Sproles out there.
knocked out of bounds by number 20.
It's quite funny actually, the 2 teams are similar in terms of the way they set themselves up, so they both use the king and queen formation with the 3 receivers and the offset fullback, but Blitz are far more prone to running the football. They've worked a lot harder to establish the run, whereas the Warriors are going to the air much earlier, but to look at, you'd think they were doing quite similar things and with quite similar personnel, but they're using them quite differently at the moment.
So Jermaine Birchie picked up a yard on the play. It's going to bring up second down and 9. Jerome Allen working exclusively out of that pistol formation. Here he is, he's surveying the field, he's going to throw, he's got a man deep. Good coverage, but can he make the catch? He does, and it's a touchdown! Touchdown, Romaine Jackson has the first points in this Britbowl. He wasn't wide open, but he makes the tough catch in traffic.
And that is
it's
a
the
huge
Warriors
play.
who lead early.
A huge play downfield as well. The coverage was close, but it's just got his head round and right in his hands. Nice throw, nice catch. And he really took his time in the pocket to set his feet, let him get that separation. Nice job.
So Ian Jacquet on to attempt the extra point. Romaine Jackson with the big touchdown catch. Jerome Allen with the pass on the money. And it's the Warriors who lead by 6. Can they tack on the extra point? Snap's good, the hold is down and the kick is up and he hits the upright. So the score is 6-0 in the first quarter. The Warriors take advantage of the roughing the passer call, and then the long touchdown pass, they lead by 6.
Absolutely, and if you look at the fact that he tackled Romaine Jackson basically at the goal line, if it hadn't been for that 15-yard penalty, they'd still be defending 15 yards of field now, and that's the difference, is like you said, those penalties, when it's as close as it is, will be the things that will win or lose the game.
And that is the end of the first quarter, so that score was the first score, and that's going to round off the first part of this game. Still really close between them, so there's so much more ahead of us, I think. That drive there was actually 7 plays, 78 yards in total, 57 of which were passing yards. So you're absolutely right in saying the Blitz are focused on going to the ground, whereas the Warriors are trying to get in the air early.
And And I tell you something, Twitter's starting to heat up now. A lot more stuff coming out there.
If you've not done it already, make sure you get on there as well, at Gridiron_TV or at Neil Reynolds NFL.
Tess Robinson, glad to see the Warriors get ahead, it looks like. She says, London Warriors, yes, touchdown. Correct.
So the Warriors lead by 6. We're about to start the second quarter. That was the final play of the first period. Ian Jacquet with the kick. Blitz getting each other's way. Orion Madabi picks it up in the end. Can he find some running room? He's tackled from behind. Leon Jackson with a nice special teams play. Sloppy there from the Blitz. Not sure which player was going to field the ball.
A little bit of communication missing, obviously. There should be a me call and then the other guy becomes a blocker, you know. Instead they both go for it. One of them knocks out the other one's hands, and it's costly because that's, you know, pinned them right back inside their own 10-yard line. A quick shout out to my coach Simon Purcell, who does a lot of work in terms of coaching. So we talked about the main coaching convention, but there are also regional ones, and he's got one in the Northwest Coaching Clinic in 19th of January at University of Central Lancashire. So make sure you get along to that.
Inside run, number 25 Vernon Kay on the tackle.
Vernon Kay indeed.
Oliver Bishop on the carry for the Blitz. So the Warriors have the momentum. See if they can build on it and capitalise. Second down and 8 yards to go. Boyle sends a man in motion. Takes a snap. He's going to throw. And he had his man thrown behind Michael Abujawadi. And that brings up third down.
So if you're watching today and you've not yet decided to get involved with American football, make sure you go on to the other part of our website, which has a list of all the teams across the UK. Contact them and get in touch.
Boyle back to pass. He's got time to throw and he's dropped for a sack. It's number 52, Niall Scott Grant. Again, what a first half he is having for the London Warriors.
Without a doubt, Niall Scott Grant and Ryan Madibi are getting some serious work done out there together. That's great work. Yeah, as the stadium commentator says, that is essentially a coverage sack, and that's one of the things, is passing the ball in this situation is difficult, not only because there's a huge pass rush in your face and it's difficult to get out of the way of it, but equally because the coverage is so tight downfield. Now Fab Gargiolo punting out of his own end zone.
Yeah, not the place you want to be punting, and Jeremy Sims has got a chance here to give the Warriors excellent field position. Here's the kick. That's going to hop in front of Sims. And he's going to field that, breaks one tackle and another. Jeremy Sims trying to work his way upfield and is dropped by Ed Morgan in the end. Good special teams play, but good field position coming up for the Warriors.
A little bit of afters there between a couple of those guys out of the field, and that's it's all good. They've moved on, but yeah, I think things are starting to heat up a little bit now, especially once the first score goes up. Nerves start to get a little bit frayed.
So it will be a 1st and 10 for the Warriors at the Blitz 34-yard line. That's great field position to start a drive, any drive, but especially in a game of this magnitude.
Yeah. I've got Tony Athersmith asking how we foresee the Warriors defence adjusting to the Blitz no huddle throughout the game.
Well, I was talking to Jeff Brown last week. He was down at the Wembley game and he was saying, you know, that was the issue last time they played. They were puffing at the end of it, you know, because that's how the Blitz will try and go up tempo and try and wear you out. So that will be interesting to see as we get into the second half, providing it's a close game by then. So here come the Warriors then, 1st and 10. Allen pump fakes, he's got a man downfield, it's Ian Jacquet. Can he make the over the shoulder catch at the 4-yard line? He can't. The ball falls incomplete, but again the Warriors are testing that secondary of the London Blitz. It's 2nd and 10 coming up.
Almost an incredible catch there. If he managed to just hang on to that one.
His adjustment, looking over the inside shoulder, realising the ball's gone outside, then flipping the head round. I mean, that would have been an impressive catch to take in, but unfortunately just falls through the hands. And that's it. You'll see the Warriors go back to that huddle every time. Play gets called in from Tony Allen. Jerome makes the call in the huddle and out they come, but the Blitz are much quicker. Go to the line, look for the signal, run the play.
2nd down coming up then for the Warriors. 2 wide receivers to the bottom of the screen, 1 up the top. Fake handoff, and it's Jerome Allen's going to stretch the field again. He's got Ramon Jackson in the end zone. He makes the catch No, the ball comes out right at the last second. Looked like Romain Jackson had his second touchdown of the first half, but can't bring it all the way in.
That's an outstanding bit of work there. Outstanding bit of work from the DB, because otherwise that's a guaranteed touchdown. I mean, he looked like he had it from here until you see the ball pop out at the end when he's on the ground.
It really did. But clear intentions about where the Warriors want to go with this one.
24, you know, the combo with the coverage, tight coverage, like Ian Jeffrey number 8, was going to hold that in for a touchdown.
So the Warriors and Jerome Allen, they're not afraid to test this secondary of the London Blitz. They are throwing deep and they are throwing often. In the first half of this Britbowl final, they lead 6-0 here in the second quarter. Allen has 2 receivers at the bottom of the screen, 1 to the top. It's another fake handoff. He's going to throw again. He slides to his left. He's looking down to his right, and now he's going to have to take off. Chased out of bounds and wisely tosses the ball. That is incomplete. That's going to bring up 3rd down.
That's another veteran play there. He was looking like he was going to lose about 5 yards on that. Instead, he just tosses the ball out. Make sure it's a forward pass, nowhere near anybody, so it's not risky, and you save yourself that loss. Shout out to George Waring supporting Blitz number 13, Michael, who's now just going to be called Michael because no one could pronounce his surname, and Thibault Ladroit giving a shout out to number 48 for the London Blitz, the linebacker Marcus Thuant, who is the only French beast apparently.
Outside of the tackles, you're allowed to throw it away out of bounds if you reach there.
So this is an interesting call in that sort of no man's land for the London Warriors. 4th down, and they're going to go for it, and they are going to call a timeout to talk it over on the sidelines.
Absolutely. Dave Sennert there from the Solent Thrashers controversially saying that the real National League final was 2 weeks ago, as the Solent Thrashers held the Gladiators to 12 points. But the best overall team in the country won, he says. I'm not sure what the Gateshead fans out there will say about that, so if you've got any thoughts to share with David, please feel free to tweet in.
We'll also give a shout out to Rob Orr up in Stirling. Big fan of the show. Plenty of support we've had from him in the past. He's tuning in as well, so hope you're enjoying the show, Rob.
Absolutely, and Mel Biscombe there, who's a long-time league committee member and also been involved with a number of teams, giving a shout out there to a couple of the ex-Farnham Knights who now play on the left-hand side of the line for the Warriors offence. So that's Kev Keown and DC Knight 07 there, saying they got their left-hand side of the Warriors O-line on lockdown. Keep it up, lads. So good to see the linemen get some love, and if anyone's going to show some love to the linemen, it's Mel Biscombe.
So you're watching the Premiership final here live on Gridiron TV. We hope you're enjoying it. Keep those messages coming in.
There we go.
So 4th and long coming up for the London Warriors. They are going to go for it. They are on the 34-yard line. They have trips to the right. Single receiver to the top. Jermaine Birchie is in the backfield. Jerome Allen is going to take the snap. So Allen fields the snap. He's got all day to throw. He's looking downfield. He's got a man wide open. It's caught and he can't reel it in. He should have had the catch. That's tight end Harry Innes. Harry Innes would have had a touchdown. He just didn't finish the play, and that's a couple now that the Warriors have put on the ground that would have been touchdowns.
They're showing their intentions quite clearly as well. They're stretching the field. They're attacking the deep. I tell you, Al Davis would be loving this if he was here, going for those deep bombs over and over again, and that's just what they're all about right now, is stretching the field. And like you say, there was a great tackle in the end zone from Lennox Johnson, and then there's that one there which was in and out of the hands, and otherwise we'd be looking at a 3-score game.
It's encouraging for the Warriors though, because they know that they've got the time to throw and they are getting open. They just need to finish the deal.
That's exactly it. It's just those last little bits to close it off.
So the Blitz dodge a bullet and they take over on downs. Fred Boyle is going to throw. He's under pressure again. Spins away from a tackler in the backfield. He needs a block. Doesn't get one. Gets hit by Ariel Mafondo. It looks like Fred Boyle has a first down for the Blitz.
That was quite a gentle hit from Mafondo there compared to his first two. It looks like he was maybe taking it easy on Fred Boyle there, but there's a good pick-up block there from one of his receivers when he realised the play had broken down though, and Fred tucked the ball and picked up the first down.
So Fred Boyle showing that he can run as well as pass. Hand off to Temi Odiyemi. Hard yards up the middle. Picks up about 3 on the play.
Nice job from Temi. That's it, going back to the ground there. Doing what's been working for them this first half.
So 2nd and 7 for the London Blitz. They have 4 wide receivers, single man in the backfield. Fred Boyle takes the snap. He's looking downfield. He's got a man. It's Charlie Joseph, and that's first down yardage again as the Blitz start to move the chains here in the second quarter.
Good hands from Charlie Joseph. There are a lot more tweets coming in now. It's starting to pick up a little bit. We've got
all the Twitter folk are in town.
Don Maidlow saying great coverage. Catherine Eames saying big thanks from Kate and George and Dawson who couldn't make it up. Yo Darrell loving numbers 13 and 14 in the Blitz and watching on Gridiron TV. Loving the purple build we were talking about earlier on.
Fred Boyle back to pass. He's under pressure. He's going to step up, spins away again from another tackle, and then Niall Scott Grant drags him down. But Boyle, again, keeping a play alive, extending the play, picks up 3 or 4 on the ground.
Absolutely. Good job with Fred. I refer to him as Freestyle Fred to his face, which he always likes, but he's a guy that knows the game and he knows how to extend the play with his feet.
He's certainly having to freestyle at times here under pressure in this first half. He hands off to Temi Odiemi. Scoots across the 35-yard line. That'll bring up 3rd down from there.
And that's probably the best job they've done so far, of shutting down that inside run there. They were all over at the Warriors defence, only picked up a couple on the carry.
So 3rd down and 4 for the London Blitz, their best drive of the game so far. And it's going to end right there with a sack of Fred Boyle, and it's Andrew Steadman with the takedown. That ends the drive, and it's going to bring up a punting situation for the London Blitz.
So John Bon Jovi, who was tweeting in earlier on, has said he doesn't much like the Blitz chances if they can't get a pass rush on Allen. I think that's a good point. He's like you said earlier on, he's been making a lot of deep bombs and he's had a lot of time to do it. So if they don't get all over that, then it's going to be a long day for the Blitz defense.
So Jeremy Sims is back to receive, and that's a fake. And the pass to Charlie Joseph is complete. Fake punt by the London Blitz. The pass came from Joe Thompson. Joe Thompson, of course, the backup quarterback who's played for the Hertfordshire Hurricanes, knows how to throw the ball himself, completes the pass to Charlie Joseph. That might be the biggest play by a backup quarterback in this game today.
No doubt. And Joe Thompson's a guy who takes a lot of stick for being the backup and stuff, especially for having been such a good player at Hertfordshire. But you know, that's where those guys earn their money. You know, it's just shows the value of having quality guys at every position and having depth there. Really does, yeah. Great job, Joe Thompson.
So the big special teams play by the London Blitz gives them a 1st and 10 at the 25. Fred Boyle is going to try and take advantage. He's looking for Jack Daly. Pass is broken up nicely in the end zone by Jacob Clifford. Good defence by the London Warriors.
Nice job, Jacob Clifford. Again, now they've started to think a little bit more like the Warriors here. Stretch the field. You're inside the 30. Take a look at the end zone, and that was straight in Jack Daly's hands if it hadn't been for the defender. So nice job.
So 2nd down and 10. Boyle with a roll to the left. He's going to fire again. He's got a man. It's Charlie Cropper who makes the catch.
Andrew Cropper it is indeed. Underneath, getting his work done. He's another grafter. He's another guy who would have been away with the GB team if it hadn't been for an injury. So nice to see him back and playing well.
So 3rd down coming up. There's the handoff. Ariel Mafondo with the hit. It's going to be close to 1st down yardage. Temi Odiemi on the carry.
Nice stretch play to the left there. They faked the jet sweep right with that with Andrew Cropper in motion and then run.
Got to the 15-yard line. This should be a 1st down.
It is. Move the chains. Here we go.
1st down for the Blitz. And that special teams players giving them a spark here. It was their best drive up until the fake punt, and they've taken full advantage so far. They're now knocking on the door at the Warriors' 15-yard line. Boyle has trips to the right. He's got a single receiver at the bottom. He takes the snap. Fred Boyle's got some running room up the middle and he's going to take off. Can he get to the outside? He skips to the outside, and Fred Boyle has levelled things up in Britbowl 27 with a 15-yard touchdown run for the London Blitz.
Fred Boyle, like you said earlier on, showing what he can do with his feet as well as his hands, and that's a great run. Cuts inside, cuts back outside, tucks the ball away, takes it to the house untouched. Nice job.
So Boyle, with some big runs on that drive to keep the drive alive, has tied things up at 6 apiece here in Britbowl in the Premier Division final. We're in the second quarter. Can Jack Daly tack on the extra point to give the Blitz a 1-point lead? The snap is good and the kick is up. And it splits the uprights, and it's the Blitz in the second quarter who lead the Warriors 7 points to 6.
Nice job, Fred Boyle. And that's what makes a great quarterback. Is when his team need a little boost, he does something for them. And great play, Joe Thompson on the fake punt, and great play, Fred Boyle running that in himself. Nice work.
So now we see how the Warriors respond.
Absolutely. I
got check time for the London Warriors.
Got Damon Kirby out there asking for a shout out to Exeter Demons. He's enjoying the coverage, so hello to you there, Damon. Brunel Burners as well. Quite a few of their ex-guys are on here. I know John Goddard, the Brunel head coach, is a fan. A lot of these guys are out there. He was involved with the Blitz as well. That's Orion Medibi, Sky Medibi, and Big DJ on the line. Some great players there. So. All those ex-uni players, and there's a lot of ex-uni players on both sides. Like you said, Joe Thompson's there, and Fred Boyle, another ex-Hurricane too.
Yeah, it's great to see him coming through the university ranks. I got one from Luke Bora, who says, love watching the Britbowl coverage on Gridiron TV. Great coverage. I simply can't get enough football. Neither can we. So that's why we're here.
Good news for you. We've got this now. This is the end of this season, but we've got uni football all through the winter as well.
So there's the kick, fielded by number 17, Taylor Burke. He's still got some running room, and down he goes.
And that last play was that last drive was 11 play, 66-yard drive, and 29 of those yards were Fred Boyle on the ground with his feet. So good running from Fred Boyle, and gives them a narrow advantage.
32 yards.
John Bon Jovi a bit more happy now. Freddie Boyle showing his class again. And my man Jamie Charles saying Fred Boyle taking care of business. Let's just say he's a problem. He's also saying Big Ike, who was one of the other GB players, and there was a bit of a bromance going on there between Big Ike and Fred, so he'll be glad to see what was going on out there.
First and 10 then for the London Warriors. They trail by a point in this first half. Allen takes the snap, he hands to Jermaine Birchie. Can he get a block? Can he get around the corner? No, he's gang tackled for a loss. Good pursuit and good defense by the Blitz. Late flags come flying in. Flags are thrown in the direction of Jeremy Sims and Ed Morgan. Those two were hooked up. We'll see who gets called on this.
Yeah, so former Leeds local, number 37, Joe Coulter on the tackle as well.
That's a funny one as well. Joe Coulter and Ed Morgan, the two safeties, started playing together at Leeds Uni, and they both played their last game for GB out in Milan, and they'll be finishing their career together at the Blitz.
Where they started.
Yeah, it's funny, and here they are back in Leeds where it all started for them. So two lovely guys and great ambassadors for the sport.
They'll know where to go out
Well,
tonight.
you don't see that very often.
They will do, yeah.
We know all the spots. So the penalty was against Jeremy Sims, a low block, an illegal block. That's going to bring repeat first down, but it'll be first down and 25.
We had a night out in Leeds earlier in the year and we played the Yorkshire Rams in Space nightclub, and I can tell you things got a little bit messy. So if you're looking for a good night out, that's never a bad shout. And it's a beautiful evening now here, the sun setting.
Too old for nightclubs. So here we go then, first down for the London Warriors. Jerome Allen working out of the pistol formation. He takes the snap, fires to Ian Jacquet, and that's the second one that's dropped through his hands in this first half. Turning upfield before he's caught the ball. It's going to bring up second and long.
I think he heard the footsteps there. Fab Gargiulo was right on top of him if he made that catch. But yeah, unfortunate straight out. That's a couple of times now it's gone in and out the hands of Jacquet. He's starting to kind of fumble the ball a bit more.
The openings are definitely there. The opportunities are definitely there. They just need to finish the play.
It's that last bit of execution.
So second and long for the Warriors. Don't need to get it all back in one go, but they do need positive yardage on this play. Jerome Allen working out the pistol. He takes the snap. Allen under pressure. He's going to have to step up. He fires to the right. There's Ian Jacquet on the sideline. Nice catch this time. And picks up decent yardage. It will bring up third down, but it's going to be more manageable now after that catch from Jacquet. And good job by Jerome Allen keeping the play alive.
That was a great job, and he was under a lot of pressure there. There was a cut block at the backside, failed horribly, and the defensive lineman would have been right on top of him. So good job. Both of these quarterbacks are confident enough to stand tall in that pocket when they need to, even when there's pressure coming around round about them, and it's good to see.
Yeah, we mentioned that when we were doing the earlier final. Two good young British quarterbacks leading these powerhouse teams, and that's good to see.
Absolutely.
Jerome Allen for the London Warriors, Fred Boyle for the London Blitz. So third down coming up for the Warriors. Jerome Allen takes a snap. Blitz coming off the edge. He's got time to throw over the middle, and Ed Morgan breaks it up. Pass intended for Harry Innes. Falls incomplete. That brings up fourth down and a punting situation.
Nice pass pro from the right tackle as well. I don't know if you saw that Lennox Johnson had a little blitz there off the edge, and he just got put on the ground. Right tackle having absolutely none of it, so nice job.
Good coverage from Ed Morgan on the back end.
Absolutely. Give a shout out to the Swindon Storm, who had a great debut season in the Unity Leagues, having a 3-7 and a lot of building going on there, so nice job.
So the kick's away. Orion Madabi's going to have a chance to return this one. Can he get to the outside? He's going to try to turn the corner. He does get some yardage. He gets back to his own 30-yard line. Sorry, it was Deji Ali on the return. Decent run back, and it's from there the Blitz will start. They lead by a point. They start on their own 30-yard line.
Nice job, Deji. His calves are about the same size as my waist. It's an absolute beast. But I don't know if you got quite lucky there, because a couple of the Warriors players sort of took one another out. So, but nice running. Good job.
So many of these names familiar to so many people in this stand, from Loughborough, Birmingham, Leeds, from universities up and down the country, really producing some quality players that are plugging in quite nicely to this National League.
So first and 10 for the London Blitz. Boyle takes a snap. He's got time to throw this time. Gets his man out in the right flat, breaks the tackle, spins away from another. Vernon Kay goes in for the tackle, but it is close to first down yardage, and it's a nice catch by Ben Webb.
A really nice catch by Webb, but he's not featured much so far, but it just shows the depth these guys have got. Nice catch, breaks a couple of tackles and picks up 10 yards when it didn't look like there was 10 to be had.
Some hard yards after the catch there.
Yeah.
So first and 10. Blitz to their own 40-yard line. This has been their second quarter to enjoy after the Warriors missed a couple of opportunities on long passes. Boyle takes the snap, hands to Deji Ali. A bit more running room that time. Gain of 4 or 5 on the play.
So going back to the ground where they're most comfortable, inside zone left there. Nice running, nice blocking up front from the O-line. And that's a quality O-line there with some guys that have worked together for a long time. So hard at work, good stuff.
We are seeing there is not much between these two teams. They are the two best teams in British American football, and they are going toe-to-toe at Britbowl. And Fred Boyle keeps that one himself. Spins out of Ariel Mafondo's tackle, but picks up 2 or 3 before he goes down. It's going to bring up third down.
Pulled the backside guard on that play, kicked out the end and followed the play up the hole and picked up a few yards again on the ground. I think there may be some challenges with our stream just now. Still a few guys saying we're offline.
Yeah, apologies for any interruptions here. We've still got issues further up the line, so we're going to try and fix it for you as soon as possible.
Fred Boyle with the keeper. Close to first down yardage.
Looks like they're stopping the clock for a measure, are they there, Martin? I did see his arms waving, yeah. Looks like there could be a measure here. Timeout called there by referee. So James, come on to the field, let's see. Brian Yates there calling the timeout. They're going to pull them out. Play the imaginary drum roll. It's short.
So it's about 6 inches short there.
I want to tick on for you.
So 4th and inches coming up. What would you do? You're on midfield. With the lead. 4th and inches. Let's see.
Oh, I don't know. I might call it direct snap for personal protection faster to the time window. Hey, I'm not coaching in this national, in this Premier League final.
Seems to be a little bit of confusion.
Coach Moss to coach now. Exactly.
So Blitz are going to punt. 4th and inches situation at midfield. Not taking any chances. High snap, fielded. Kicks away. Jeremy Sims is back. Can he get a return? He waves his players away. And the ball is down at the 21-yard line. It's from there the Warriors will take over. They trail by a point in Britbowl 27.
Score 7-6 to the Blitz. Let's see what the Warriors have got in the locker.
1 yard line in the first half. They trail 7-6. Jermaine Birchie on the carry. Not much doing up the middle.
Jermaine Birchie with the carry on first down. Short game.
Getting a big run on that play there. 3 from 2nd and 9 on the 23-yard line going out.
They must seriously struggle to find Jermaine Birchie behind that big offensive line. Must be a tough ask for the defensive lineman, but they have held him in check so far with his speed.
Definitely. There's some big guys in that O-line, on both O-lines, and their tight end as well. That's another way the two teams differ is Warriors have got some tight end sets in their playbook, which the Blitz never use, so it gives you a lot of protection up front.
Yeah, Harry Ennis is the tight end who dropped one earlier. He's in the middle of those trips on the right at the moment. Jerome Allen takes the snap. He's going to have time to throw, and he's got Romaine Jackson, the lesser known of the Jackson brothers, the catch.
Nice job, Romaine Jackson. Sorry for those of you who were experiencing some technical difficulties. We had a little bit where we dropped offline, not 100% sure why. The important thing is we're back with you now.
And you didn't miss any scores?
No, absolutely.
7-6.
The Blitz punted, and then the Warriors have just taken over inside their own half.
Well, the good news is it will all be recorded and will go out as highlights on our YouTube channel. So for anything you missed there, if you really did want to see that punt, for example, then it will all be up online after this, and we'll keep you informed of that. So keep an eye on our YouTube channel to see the rest of it.
Big 3rd down coming up for the London Warriors. 3rd down and about 1 or 2 on the play. Trips right. Allen takes the snap. Blitz off the edge. He throws that way, and it's Romaine Jackson again, who's having a big first half for the London Warriors with the catch for a first down to move the chains.
But he's got first down, Warriors.
Starting to find a bit of a rhythm again on this drive, slowly but surely, and they're working their way towards the Blitz half. There's a real difference in the tempo the two offenses are working because of the no huddle at the Blitz. It really is. It's that much sharper.
So here's the first down play for the London Warriors in the second quarter. Jerome Allen takes the snap. Doesn't look like he's ready for the snap there, but he does field it now. He's got to scramble away from pressure, and that's going to be incomplete, out of bounds. Pass intended for Jeremy Sims.
It looked a little bit like the centre was trying to catch the D lineman offside. Right. They sort of faked the rush, and then they stayed out in the neutral zone. He snapped the ball, and Jerome wasn't ready. But
intended for Sims. Trying his best, got his feet down.
Sims running that drill he's probably done 1,000 times in his life, with the feet inside the line and stretching it over, but unfortunately just couldn't grab it there.
The play brings up second down.
10 for the Warriors.
Second down and 10 yards to go.
Trail 7 points to 6. Remember the extra point try that bounced off the upright.
Allen sends 2 receivers to the top of your screen. Jeremy Sims split out right. Allen takes the snap. There's a blitz up the middle, picked up nicely by the offensive line. Now Allen's got time to fire downfield. He's trying to hit Romaine Jackson. Jump ball, tipped and picked off. Ed Morgan with the interception. Now he's running back upfield. Can Morgan get into decent field position? He works his way to the outside. There is a flag down on the play. Morgan is tackled across midfield, but a big defensive play there as Jermaine Allen tried to hit Romaine Jackson over the middle.
AP and I spoke on the sideline before the game about these veteran players who the new guys look to in big game situations, and there's Ed Morgan. You know, he's the club chairman, he's the stalwart of that defence, and that's him. Again, something you practice a million times, tip drill, you know, one defender gets his hand on it, the ball's in the air, the next guy's all over it. That's a great piece of football. This is a when Morgan ran the ball back there, number 37 had his hands on a defender, but I think a holding penalty is a little bit, it's maybe a little bit much, but there you go, that's what they've given him. At the end of the day, he's still got the ball turned over, and that's what counts right now.
Absolutely, he's still got possession.
Yeah, Jerome Allen testing that strong arm of his again, throwing away downfield, but they've not really hit on, they got the touchdown early and they've tried and tried, they haven't hit on another one since then. Fred Boyle takes the snap, inside handoff is Deji Ali, brought down by Aaron Mafondo, but good yardage on the ground.
Deji made a lovely little right and left cut there, hard right, foot in the ground, hard left, right across his blocks, and great job. Again, veteran running backs following their blocks, and that's what happens.
So 2nd down and 3, 4 wide receiver set for the London Blitz. They lead by a point. Fred Boyle takes the snap, fakes the handoff, he's going to keep it himself. And Boyle has first down yardage before he skips out of bounds.
Nice job, Fred Boyle. Again, only picks up 4 yards, but it's a first down when they need one. It's a nice job.
So I got a tweet from the Torbay Trojans. Says, good battle going on now. Can we get a shout out and congratulations on our recent league affiliation approval? So look out for the Torbay Trojans soon.
And again, that's another team joining the league, another opportunity for people to get involved with the sport. So keep an eye on what's going on near you.
First down for the London Blitz. Boyle fakes the handoff to Deji Ali. Pass in and out of the hands of number 12, Andrew Cropper.
Looked like he got that one, but just couldn't hold that in.
Shout out to John Bon Jovi, he's been watching it all day, and he's saying on the 8th day the Lord created Ed Morgan, and it is still absolutely brilliant. Ed Morgan, a great player and an absolute gentleman to boot.
Did he not create Adrian Peterson first?
I think probably, yeah.
So
I think that might be.
Peyton Manning, then Ed Morgan. It's a close third. But. Okay, 2nd down coming up. Fred Boyle hands off. Deji Ali with another inside run. And they're still going strong, but it's good defense from the London Warriors. This is a war of attrition out there in Britbowl 27. These teams don't like each other. There's lots of hard hitting, and there's nothing between the two of them.
Absolutely.
Coming up as the Warriors.
It's always an interesting some interesting subplots and things that run underneath these teams, you know, because there's a lot of personalities who know each other out there,
yeah.
You know.
3rd and long coming up for the Blitz. This has been a good defensive stand for the Warriors. Fred Boyle is going to have time to throw here. He comes under pressure at the end. He gets hit, but not before completing the pass to Henry Charlton Weedy.
Some great pass protection. Deji Ali in the backfield there, 60 protection, so 6-man protection there. And Deji Ali had nothing to do because the offensive line had it all covered. So
yeah, Niall Scott Grant got the hit right at the end, but not before Fred Boyle completes the first down pass. And Boyle has grown into this game as this Premier Division final has developed, and he has his team in front by a point. Boyle fakes the handoff, and this time he hits Jack Daly. That's good for another 5 or 6 on the play.
Nice job. Starting to spray the ball about a little bit now. He's been to Cropper, he's been to Daly, he's throwing the ball about well.
And we are at the 2-minute warning of what has been a fast moving and a very, very entertaining first half. 7-6 to the London Blitz. Fascinating final here at John Charles Stadium in Leeds.
And as they say on high-class broadcast, very nicely poised as well. It's setting a point in it, you know. There's been big plays both ways. There's been a couple of mistakes both ways, and the Blitz have probably had the better of it after that fake punt, but it's been very evenly matched.
You meant Sky Sports, didn't you?
I meant Sky Sports.
I thought you did. I thought you did. You just didn't want to say.
It goes without saying.
You can say. It's all right. Boyle takes the snap, hands off to Deji Ali. Hard yards up the middle, and that is a first down run. They are at the 35-yard line of the London Warriors, and the Blitz are rolling again.
On the internet later on tonight.
23 Deji Ali with the
Nice job, Deji Ali. One of the members of TMB out there getting it done. Good lads.
Fred Boyle takes the snap. He rolls to his left. He's going to keep it again. Boyle cuts left, leaps through the heart of that defence. This kid, Fred Boyle, is playing with a lot of heart, a lot of courage, and a lot of poise in Britbowl so far. That's another first down run. He has the only touchdown of the game for the Blitz. That's a big scramble for him there.
That's absolutely superb, and that's what we said, you know. He's a guy who will he'll get it done when he needs to on the ground, and you know, like you say, leaping through, and once you get past your offensive line against the Warriors, you know, there are some dangerous people floating about that field, and to be able to go out there and get the shoulder down, what a guy.
Absolutely.
What a guy. And you've got to admire both these quarterbacks. You know.
Inside the last 2 minutes. Let's say this opportunity. Big shout out to the Barnum Knights.
The question you're going to have to ask yourself now is how much will the pace of this blitz offense have affected the Warriors defenders? Because I just saw one of their defensive linemen jogging off the field there, and he looked like he was labouring a little bit, you know.
And the pass rush has sort of slowed up a tiny bit. Boyle is having a bit more success when he tucks the ball away. He was getting punished early on when he was doing that. It certainly is something to watch as this game goes on.
He was, and we'll be looking for guys like Modibi there to maybe make a big play, make a big hit to sort of get the tempo back up for the Warriors defense, because he's been a little bit anonymous in the second quarter after a bright start.
So here's a first down for the London Blitz. Can they put more points on the board before the break? Boyle has 4 wide receivers. He takes the snap, fakes the pass, hands to Deji. There's a bit of running room, then Ariel Mafondo closes quickly.
That's another play their offensive coordinator Mike Callum loves, which is a draw play. One of the oldest plays in the book. Fake the pass, get the rush in and hit them with a run, and they run it well, and he did a good job getting that ball out before he got crushed.
Second down. 3 wide receivers to the right. Boyle takes the snap. He's under pressure. Jeff Brown on the blitz. Niall Scott Grant picks it off in the air. That is a big defensive play. Jeff Brown on the corner blitz knocks the ball into the air, and Niall Scott Grant, who has had a big first half, comes up with the ball while it's in midair.
Nice job. They were moving the ball down the field comfortably there. They were inside the 20-yard line, and there you go. Jeff Brown coming up with a big play just when they need it.
We have made a great impact on the big number 52, product of that Warriors youth system that Jerry Anderson runs so well.
Yep, team captain.
So Jeff Brown, veteran of the Frankfurt Galaxy, comes up with a big play for the London Warriors. They get a turnover just before the half. Can they capitalise? They trail by a point in what has been a fascinating first half. Jerome Allen has trips to the left, and he's going to throw that way. Looking up, now he's going to have to cut the ball down and run, and slides.
I think it's fair to say that Jerome Allen's got a little bit more care for his body than...
Jerome's more like a pro quarterback.
Yeah.
Will throw the ball away when he's out, under pressure and trying to get out of bounds. Will slide when he needs to. Fred Boyle's just like, just
puts his body on the line, doesn't he?
So Allen playing with some veteran smarts, and he dumps the pass off there. Short of first down yardage, but the pass is complete to number 81, Mark McGowan.
Fighters receiver number 81 with a grab. Mark McGowan picks up around 4 or 5 yards. Third down coming up.
Jamie Charles saying the blitz not getting enough pressure through that massive Warriors O-line. Well, as a defensive lineman himself and somebody who's potentially going to be moving to the blitz next year, we might well see him contributing to that next year. Jamie Charles actually dislocated his kneecap in the quarter-final for us against the Bristol Aztecs, and then played the next Sunday against the London Blitz D-line, so he's a hell of a Warrior, and someone that I'm sure whichever team he moves to, assuming he doesn't head back up the road and get a job in Scotland again, will be delighted to have him, because he's a fantastic player and a great leader, and I hope his knee's healing up well and he's not hitting too many of those steakhouses in Bristol now he's in the off-season. Conor McGuinness watching the game, cheering on the blitz, and giving a shout out to Mikey's household. Again, we don't know how to pronounce. Is it Abu Jaoud?
Well, let's ask them.
Let's ask if anybody knows how to pronounce it.
Pronunciation.
Tweet in the phonetic pronunciation. You guys know him. And Scott Moore saying the blitz will come out and put up a ton in the second half because the Warriors deter quickly.
So third down, that defense did create this turnover though for the Warriors. Jeff Brown with the blitz, Niall Scott Grant with the interception. Jerome Allen, he's going to have time to throw again over the middle, and that's way off. That pass there was intended for Mark McGowan, and he was open, and Jerome missed him.
I think there was a bit of a miscommunication there. He put the ball just a bit in the middle of nowhere, and luckily for him, nowhere near a blitz DB, because these guys are ball hawks, as we've already seen with the turnover.
So the Warriors can't do anything with the turnover. Blitz defense holds, and it will be a punting situation. And there might still be a little bit of time for the blitz here just before the half. They lead 7-6. in this Britbowl Premier Division final.
And I think it's fair to say if they're going to do anything in this half, they'll need a decent return and get some good field position, because there can't be long left now.
Kicks away, nice kick, good hang time, fair catch signal. Orion Madabi, you've already signalled fair catch, don't start running with it now.
That's an interesting one, because if the ball bounces, the fair catch gets called off,
waved off, yeah.
And yet you're not able to advance it when it happens. So. But it was interesting that last drive, we saw the Warriors coming out in a slightly different formation at times. They used a sort of trips right bunch formation, which we haven't seen yet, so maybe they're trying to try a few different things. That was the one where they had a bit of miscommunication in the past, but maybe they're trying a few different things just to see what else they can get out of the Blitz just before half-time, to see what adjustments they'll need to put in.
So, we'll see what the Warriors can do defensively. We hear a lot about their youth system. Jeff Brown's as old as Christmas, and he made the last play, so we'll see what they come up with this time. Jeff Brown was blitzing out of the slot. It looks like we are going to see knees taken here. And Fred Boyle goes down, so at the half in this Britbowl 27 Premier Division final, it's the London Blitz who lead the London Warriors. Jackson with the touchdown for the Warriors, and then Fred Boyle with the touchdown run for the London Blitz. It's they who lead by a point.
Absolutely. Now I think when we talked about this before the game, I think we all said it was going to be big defensive plays. It was going to be a physical contest. You know, both quarterbacks were going to have a key part to play, and we've seen Jerome stretching the field with that big arm of his. We've seen Boyle spray the ball about a little bit, typically over shorter yardages with success, but we've seen him on his feet and doing some good work there. And just look at the size of the Blitz squad as well. You know, they've got a lot of guys in there.
We'll see you at the end of the half-time break.
Yeah, great stuff though, but I'm sure all you guys at home who are watching it are enjoying it. Apologies for the little blip we had there with the technical stuff. That's one of the challenges you have when you're doing a broadcast like this, is you can't account for these sorts of things, but hopefully you've managed to keep up with the action on Twitter and things in the meantime, and we would love to hear what you think about the game so far. Who's been standing out for you as players? Any adjustments you think teams will make at half-time, and just in general how you're doing, where you are and what you're thinking.
Very well put there, yeah, we really do appreciate it. Apologies for those interruptions earlier, but the full games and the highlights are going to be available, so don't worry about that. But we will be back in the second half. You can see the teams heading up into the changing rooms right now, so we're coming back very shortly to see the second half of this game and ultimately the champion of the Premiership here. And you're going to see it all live on Gridiron TV, so don't go too far away. We'll be back for the second half. Well, welcome back everybody to the second half of action from Britbowl 27, and it's the Premiership final between the London Blitz and the London Warriors. I'm joined up here in Gridiron TV by Matthew Davis and of course by Neil Reynolds. Guys, let's have a quick chat about the first half, how things went. It was a very back and forth at times, but still nonetheless exciting.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, the Warriors drew first blood with that touchdown, and they've literally been looking to hit that deep pass, and they've had about 3 plays in and out of the hands, a couple in the end zone, one with a good defensive play to stop a touchdown, and one with a drop, but they've been really looking to stretch the field with a deep pass, and they've had their chances for sure.
Yeah, they've had those opportunities to hit on those deep balls, and I would love to have been a fly on the wall of these two locker rooms to see how they approach the half-time break, because the Blitz have been here before. They've won these championships. They've won 4 in a row. They've been in big games. They know what to do. They know how to handle it. The Warriors have lost the last 2 finals to the London Blitz. The one thing you don't want to allow to enter into your mind is, oh no, not again. And I don't think it has, but it just makes you wonder, you know, how did they approach that half, both teams, because this is so finely balanced.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I think Jerome Allen, the Warriors quarterback, had some strong words to say with his receivers, because there's been a few drops in there which, if they've been converted,
money, yeah.
You know, he's put the ball right where you want it. It could have been a couple of touchdowns, at least challenging for him, but you know, both the defenses have been swarming to the ball, and I just think that if the Blitz can keep the pace up on offense with this no huddle, I've got the feeling that they'll be able to wear the Warriors down and put another couple of scores up. But you know, this one can go either way. It's finally poised for the second half.
And it's the London Warriors who will get the ball first. The Blitz are about to kick off. And number 1, Jeremy Sims, is back to receive for the Warriors. And there's the kick. And it will be Sims. He fields on his own 10-yard line. He's got 5, 10, 15, 20 yards, 25 yards. Breaks it, 31-yard return from Jeremy Sims across the 40-yard line. Good field position to start the second half.
Everything Sims does, these veteran guys who've got that sort of NFL coaching level experience, everything they do is so smooth. He reads his blocks, he bursts when he needs to. Even the way he transfers the ball to the outside hand when he cuts off that block, he's just a fantastic athlete and a great player, and a good return.
So we are on the first offensive play of this second half. If you just joined us, it's 7-6. The London Blitz in the dark blue jerseys against the London Warriors. And it's the Warriors with the football. There's the handoff. Kingsley Egiog is going to break up the middle. Big run. First down yardage, gets across to the 40-yard line of the London Blitz.
Another veteran player, Kingsley, he's been doing this a long time, and that's a great run from him. Ideal start to the half for the Warriors. Big return and then a big run.
Crisscross there in the backfield. Froze the linebackers and meant they were able to make this big gain.
So 1st and 10 at the 40-yard line. The Warriors looking to start the strong second half performance with this drive. Jerome Allen, he takes the snap. Hands to Kingsley Egiog. There's more running room there. He slips. Field might be getting a little bit slick out there now. 5-yard gain.
It's got that feel about it now. We're under floodlights and the sun's gone down pretty much fully, so it's a beautiful purple sky, but it's that time when the dew starts to set and the field does get a little bit slick, so definitely lost his foot in the air, but a good 6 yards picked up before he does.
Purple sky, purple buildings, it's a purple
Stunning.
field. It's like the Minnesota Vikings are back.
It is.
1 week after Wembley Stadium, of course.
Absolutely.
Not the usual home stadium, the travel to get here.
Second down then for the London Warriors.
Where the game's gonna be
Jeremy Sims split to the left, 2 receivers to the top. And Jerome Allen will take the snap from the pistol formation. Fakes the handoff, he's going to fire downfield. He's trying to reach Romaine Jackson again. There's some contact in the end zone, no flags, and the ball falls incomplete. That's good coverage by number 30, William Kojo Davis.
There was a little bit of contact there, and he seemed to be not quite running at full speed, and with the defender closer behind, and you always wonder if he's got a hold of the jersey when you see that, but there was no complaints from the receiver when he got there, so I guess it's maybe
Jackson's
just
not
tight
creating
coverage.
a lot of separation, but he is a big-bodied receiver who can win those jump
Absolutely,
balls,
yeah.
He's not getting wide open down the field.
That's true, and when he had the one on the other end, the D player was draped all over him again. It's
So 3rd down coming up for the Warriors.
Warriors coming out here a lot stronger in the second half. Running the ball well against this Blitz team. But as they approach the red zone, will we see them bending but not break? Ed Morgan there rallying the troops at the back.
but showing he can still get it done like a lot of these old boys out there.
1st and 10 at the 27-yard line. Warriors looking to edge themselves back in front in this final. Allen takes the snap. Pump fakes one way, looks the other. He's got a man. Misses the pass intended for number 17, Taylor Burke.
Disappointing just in front of the defender, who had a little bit of separation there, running a sort of post route there. Had an opportunity if he put it on the money, but the ball was a little bit in front of him, a little bit low when it got to him. But again, looking to stretch the field early. That's 2 deep bombs he's thrown. And he steps up in that pocket so well. You'll see his feet are always alive. He steps up in the pocket and extremely powerful arm when he lets it go.
There has been some good protection for Jerome Allen in this game. Able to step up and able to stretch the field. Warriors just need to come up with that ball on the back end of those plays. Here we go then, 2nd down for the Warriors. Blitz coming, it's picked up. There's the inside handoff. And it's Egiog again.
We're starting to see a lot more motions, or not motion, but movement on the line. Again, there they pulled the right tackle to the left guard spot. They're moving those guys all over to create extra bodies at the point of attack, and because they're running with that 20 personnel with the two backs, they're able to send the misdirection one way, and he becomes a blocker where the guy's pulled from, and then they can have a lead blocker when they go the other way, and it makes it difficult for the Blitz to know where it's going, and it's showing with the way they're moving the ball.
So another big third down play coming up. They converted the last third down, and it's Kingsley Egiog again. Stiff arms and another first down. Big hole that time, big running room, and they're starting to get some traction on the ground now as well, the London Warriors, to start this second half.
Absolutely, they're starting to do on the ground what the Blitz did a lot of in the first half. You know, they're running the ball between the tackles, they're getting a lot of penetration inside, and it's starting to show. A good tackle there by Joe Coulthard there, where you had a little bit more room to work if you hadn't made that tackle, so nice job holding on to him.
Any Navy fans in?
So 1st and 10 for the London Warriors at the 14-yard line. Timeout called. Might be an official's timeout.
Let's see.
Blitz defense not coping quite as well, but you can see the adjustment they've made. We didn't see much of this sort of run game in the first half from the Warriors. They've obviously thought we need to try something a little bit different and maybe use this to set up those deep passes where you're, you know, if you keep testing them deep, then they're going to expect it, they're going to sit deep. So attacking them underneath makes it more likely for you to be able to be successful with those deep plays.
Here. See if there's anything to announce. Nothing untoward, it looks like, and they're off again. Clock starts. First down, Warriors.
So first down for the London Warriors at the 14-yard line of the London Blitz. Allen takes the snap, hands to Kingsley Egiog. Tough running, good defensive play. Just a couple on the game.
Nice job from the Frenchman linebacker there, good tackle. Marcus Theont there making the tackle, so nice job. But
getting in on the block there, Kingsley ran into the back.
Kevin Keown, who got the block there, the offensive lineman, is another ex-Farnham Knight, so someone who's come alongside Kingsley. So nice for those two to be reunited in the offense.
French player on the Blitz roster, French national and French international.
Second down for the Warriors. First drive of this second half in the Premier Division final. They're trailed by a point. Sends his big blocker to the right. Kingsley Egiog's going to have a huge hole. Can he get to the outside? He can, breaking tackles and inside the 5-yard line. First down yardage. And Kingsley Egiog has become more and more of a factor in this second half.
He certainly has. He started the second half extremely brightly. He's doing a bit of what we saw from the number 47 from Gateshead earlier on. You know, he's running the ball inside outside and just making the hard yards, and here we are, first and goal at the 4-yard line.
And that right hand side of the O-line there for the Warriors really earning their call tonight.
First and goal for the London Warriors. They trail by a point. This is the first drive of the second half of this Britbowl Premier Division final.
First and goal.
Two receivers to the right, one to the left. Jerome Allen takes the snap. A little bit of a mix-up there between him and Kingsley Egiog.
Marcus Theont makes the tackle, nice job.
Egiog dropped for a loss. Mix-up there.
And about time he gets dropped for a loss, because he's been running riot this last drive. He's really started to do some damage, and those on Twitter are noticing Knocker saying if X-Night Kingsley gets going, the Blitz won't be able to stop him, and that's what we've seen up until that point. Just when they needed it too, because this is squeaky bum time. I believe that's the technical term.
It is a technical term. It's a technical football term. You can use that. Second and goal from the 6-yard line.
Still 7-6 to the Blitz.
Two receiver set, single man in the backfield, double tight end for the London Warriors. Jerome Allen takes the snap, hands to Kingsley Egiog, and again this Blitz defense has come to life in the shadow of their own goalpost. 2 times now they've stopped Egiog on runs.
Again with the stop, read the play brilliantly from the linebacker position.
And the Warriors have gone very, very conservative as they've approached the goal line.
They have done, yeah, and I guess with those deep passes, obviously you don't have the space to do it, and the opportunity is not necessarily there. Right. So, and equally, like we said in the first game, you know, do what got you there. When you get into the red zone, keep running what got you there.
3rd down and goal. Warriors knocking on the door. Can they get in? Jerome Allen takes the snap. He looks to fire downfield. He's got a man in the corner of the end zone. Romaine Jackson with the catch. I think he's out of bounds with no signal. It's a touchdown! Late signal from the officials, but it is a touchdown, and it's Romaine Jackson with the catch in the corner of the end zone, and now there are flags on the field as well. Jerome Allen with the pass to the corner of the end zone, and Jackson with a nice catch, making that touchdown grab.
It was a very slow signal there, and given that it's right in front of him, I just naturally assumed that that's an incompletion. But the referees will tell you if you speak to them that they sometimes, I guess, almost do the instant replay in their head. They go through all the things that need to be completed for it to be a catch. You need to have a foot down, control the ball right through the ground, and yeah, touchdown. Interesting on the flags though. I wonder what these will be. They did see the flags again were quite late, so theoretically it could be something after play.
Very little fight in the middle, I think.
Things get a little bit spicy out there in the field.
Over to referee Brian Hicks. The receiver, cut ball, and got 1 foot down in bounds, which is all you need for a touchdown. There was subsequently
They're all lining up to kick the extra point.
subsequently there was a dead ball, unsportsmanlike conduct against number 71 of the Warriors. That 15-yard penalty will be assessed on the succeeding kickoff.
So it was the Warriors' right tackle having a bit of afters after that touchdown, but the touchdown stands. It's currently 12-7, they'll be looking to make it 13.
So Romaine Jackson with his 2nd touchdown catch of this Premier Division final gives the Warriors a 12-7 lead. Ian Jacquet on to attempt the extra point. Kick is up.
Looks good.
And it's good. So the touchdown and the extra point, the first drive of the second half. The Warriors march down the field and they score the touchdown. They now lead 13-7.
There we go. Strong drive though, and very different to the style of football we saw them play in the first half, keeping it on the ground.
More running, a lot more running.
Yeah, Kingsley hammering out those yards inside, and again it's those veterans getting it done for them. It's great for a team like the Warriors to have access to guys like Jeff Brown and Kingsley and Jeremy Sims, and even
mix, yeah?
Yeah, absolutely, and even guys like Jerry Anderson, guys who were successful players and who received coaching at a really high level, because that can then be transferred both in the spoken stuff, but also the unspoken stuff, and watching how these guys conduct themselves with the other players. One of the things that Jerry Anderson spoke about when we chatted before the game was the setting of expectations with the young guys about how the way things are done, not just about the technical stuff, but about the way you carry yourself, the way you behave, your attendance at training, gym, all that kind of stuff.
Of course, they got all that advice and knowledge as well from Ray Lewis last year, who visited the London Warriors. So here comes the kickoff. It's short, and now it's going to be excellent field position for the London Blitz. That last drive to start the second half, 12 plays, 59 yards, and Kingsley Egiog had 53 of those on the ground.
And that's that's a veteran getting it done for his guys. And I think it's notable as well, though, that a 59-yard drive and it's 12 plays. They really did put a drive together there.
Yeah.
Some of the bigger drives so far have had a couple of big passes, maybe, or a big run, which have taken up a lot of it. But that's really fighting out those hard yards, and it's tough to stop for a defence, especially when you've always got that threat in the deep pass.
We talked about penalties being key. The penalty after the touchdown pushed the Warriors back. Now the kickoff means that the Blitz start with outstanding field position, 1st and 10 at the Warriors' 45-yard line. Temi Ediemi with a nice run up the middle. That's a first down.
Temi getting it done. Nice job. Nice little spin move at the end there to extend that over the first down marker. Oh, looks like an injury on the field. One of the Warriors players is down on his knees. He's looks like he's a little bit shaken up, so the referee's taken a wee time out for us. But first down for the Blitz, and that'll be on the Warriors' 35-yard line. So
back and forth they go.
They do indeed, and you wouldn't want it any other way. I think, you know, for those of us who've been around the sport for a long time, it's the close games, the ones where the little coaching adjustments or the little mistakes are the ones that make the difference. Those are the games you remember and the ones that you play for.
You're absolutely right, and it's the ones that keep you on the edge of your seat as well, because there's no clear definitive winner up until the very last moments of the game.
Absolutely, it's challenging for the coaches at this level, because for guys like Tony Allen and for, you know, Mike Callan and Damien Anderson, getting challenged week in, week out doesn't always happen because of the gulf. So it's these games that really make the difference for them.
1st and 10 at the 35. Boyle drops the pass and tucks it away again, gets back to the original line of scrimmage. Fred Boyle, as we saw in the first half, is not afraid to tuck the ball away and run. But that time it's the Warriors defence keeps him in check.
So Jimmy Charles is asking about the venue, where do we think would be the best place? I think this is, size-wise, this is the best venue we've had. I've seen Britbowl in for a long time. Temi Odiemi again, getting the shoulder down, picking up probably our first down, maybe just shy. Awesome job.
Yeah,
Temi's a couple of big runs this drive.
Yeah, it's something. I think it's a good venue actually, and it's something that's it's a venue that people are going to get used to, so they're going to know where to come year on year. That said, it would be nice to see it in different venues each year. Try and move it around the country a little bit, bring it closer towards people. On the provision, of course, that it's a suitable venue that's going to give you a great atmosphere, and you've got pitch facility like this.
It's always challenging, and I think that, you know, in previous years trying to do the 2-day thing where you tried to squeeze everything into one day never really worked, because there was always, you know, there was always one area of the game that was kind of neglected in terms of facilities, and typically it was the youth and junior game. So this year they had their own finals day in Doncaster,
which was a good move, I think.
I think so, absolutely. So let's guys really focus on that and makes a big deal of it, and that was streamed live obviously by Gridiron TV. But you know, I think having a one-day deal in a stadium of this size is a much more sensible move until it allows the product to grow and to become a bit more widely known.
Yeah, I think that the juniors having their own finals was really big this year. I think it makes those kids feel like they're at a special event, a special day for them, and that's what it is.
Exactly, rather than being on the back pitches or being early in the day on the Saturday when no one's there. It's absolutely right that they do that for them.
So there was a first down run by Temi Odiemi, so it's going to be 1st and 10 for the London Blitz. Fred Boyle takes the snap, hands bobbled the handoff, but Temi Odiemi gets the ball, picks up a couple on the play. They're appealing for some sort of face mask.
Yeah, the Warriors did a great job up front there. They've had quite a bit of success with those inside zone plays there, just kind of bouncing off the blocks and making a few yards, but the Warriors did a great job.
Boyle takes the snap, he's got time to throw this time, slides to his left, fires downfield, that might be picked off, it is! Vernon Kay with the interception in the end zone. Big defensive play by the Warriors.
Just to clarify for anyone watching at home, unlike what the groundsman thought earlier on, that was Vernon Kay with interception and not Peter Kay.
Yes, Vernon Kay comes up with the big play there for the London Warriors. They needed a stop defensively and they got it, picked off.
And you could see that Boyle was looking that way for a long time, waiting for the receiver to come back around, come back into the field, but he just threw it underneath, and Kay, he was just waiting there for it.
He was indeed.
So Fred Boyle tries to throw the ball downfield. Vernon Kay says,
Hey,
I'm here all night.
Love it. It's not the best field position. He might have wanted to take a knee in the end zone when he picked that one off, but got to admire his enthusiasm.
So Jerome Allen might have taken your advice and taken a knee in the end zone. He dropped the ball and it is a safety.
Low snap there, and he falls on it. So
bad snap. Jerome Allen can't field it, and that's 2 points for the London Blitz. And that, in a game of this magnitude, that's 2 free points. You do not want to be giving that to the London Blitz.
That's exactly it. So 13 points to 9, especially when they missed that first point after as well. So you know they've missed 1 point themselves and given away 2, and that's essentially a field goal's worth of points in the Blitz's favour. So. Yeah, I think that's one of those veteran plays where it's hard to tell exactly from here, but it looked like when Vernon Kay intercepted that ball, he was in the end zone. If he then takes a knee, they're coming out of their own 20. As it is, he runs the ball out inside their own 5, and when you make a mistake like that, it's magnified because you're in your own end zone and you give away a safety. So
you guys who are watching this game can clear something up for me. There's listed on the Warriors roster, number 34 is a rookie defensive back, Nino Stiliani. The number 34 out there is playing defensive end for the Warriors. It looks for all the world like Victor Mohammed. Is Victor playing? I think it might be Victor. We'll need to check that out.
Victor does change his number quite a lot. He used to wear 93 when he played D tackle for these guys, but
there he is down there, just in front of us. I think that is Britbowl legend, ex-London Monarchs running back. I think it's Victor Mohammed there.
He's a guy who's done it all.
Yeah, absolutely. Playing defensive end tonight for the Warriors. And there's Orion Madabi. Fumbles the free kick, but does pick it up. Now he's got some running room, tries to skip to the outside, and he's dropped. So the score now, following that safety, is 13-9 to the London Warriors.
And the Warriors swarming the ball there on that kickoff. I mean, their coverage was superb, and even when he recovered, it looked like there was a crease, and they just all came down on top of him. So nice job in the special teams. And Jerry Henderson again said, I said, what do you think is going to be the difference today? He said, special teams. And oddly enough, I had a funny feeling he might say that. And already we've seen one point after blocked, you know, and we've seen the fake punt, and you know, we've seen some good coverage. So I think special teams guys definitely playing their part.
So, 1st and 10 for the London Blitz. Fred Boyle, inside handoff. Temi Adeyemi up the middle for about 4.
Nice job, Temi.
Temi Adeyemi with the carry of about 6 or 7, straight up the middle, second. Well, second and 5. Yeah, about 5.
It's good running.
6 or 7.
Boyle takes the snap. Pressure steps up, and he's trying to get to the outside again. And the coverage downfield is good. So Fred Boyle is having to tuck the ball away and try and run, probably more than even he would want to.
Absolutely, and that said, the deep coverage is good, and equally, they've, unlike when they got caught a couple of times in the first half, they're aware, they're alert to the fact that he is lively with his feet, and they're coming down on top of when he starts to move. So that's great work from the defense, getting off their blocks and making chase.
Brings up a 3rd and long. Here's Fred Boyle, he's going to throw it downfield. It's Cropper in and out of his hands.
Even out the hands there, the number 12 for the Blitz.
Andrew Cropper with the chance to reel it in.
That's disappointing. I'm sure Cropper will be disappointed with himself. That was an opportunity there to have a first down and a few extra yards on top. So, yeah, disappointing. And that's a turnover there. We'll be going for the punt. I say that, they could go for the fake, but I think at this stage of the field, at this time of the game, probably not going to go for it again.
You kick and you play defence, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Brings up ball down for the Blitz.
So Jeremy Sims, he's had one big kickoff return today. He'll try and get a punt return here. And he's going to have a shot at this one. I felt he could have fielded that before it hit the ground, but he let it bounce.
Yeah, he let it bounce, and luckily for the Blitz, it got a fairly fortuitous bounce.
Looks like he's actually limping a bit as he came off.
Well, I'll tell you something about Jeremy Sims. I spoke to him before the game, and he has injured his MCL in one knee and his LCL in the other. And if you look, he's got his knees taped just underneath. I mean, don't get me wrong, Jeremy Sims is an athlete, but he's been around a long time, and playing at a high level, you know, it takes its toll on you. And it looks like he's getting some physio attention there on his knees.
And he'll want to be out there. He'll want to finish this game at least. You know, it's a championship game. My back's hurting a bit. I'm still going.
Yeah, that's you're grafted through. We appreciate it, Neil. We appreciate that effort. We'll get the physio up to take a look at you just shortly.
Bit of Ralgex. 1st and 10 then for the Warriors. Allen takes the snap, hands to Jermaine Birchie. Now a different running back in the backfield. So we had Kingsley Egiog last time, which is a very different style of runner. Powerful, big. And now we go with the little guy who's got more speed.
The little elusive guy, yeah. It's a great combination to have, and a lot of the best running back tandems you think of like that. You've got the sort of that smash and dash combo. You've got the power guy who can smash the ball inside, and then once they get used to that, you put in someone that's a little bit more elusive, a bit more difficult to tackle. It's a nice change up from the Warriors.
Second down and about 4 yards to go. The Warriors, they lead 13-9. We're in the third quarter. Two receivers to the right, one to the bottom of the screen, and it's Jerome Allen looking to throw that way. He's under pressure, he's scrambling to his left, he's going to have to throw this away. He gets hit and dropped before he can.
Fab Gargiolo, great job chasing him down from behind. And if you notice there, Gargiolo used that classic Lawrence Taylor arm over the top, looking to strip the ball out. So good job, Jerome Allen, just at that last second tucking the ball away. Otherwise, that could have been a turnover. But great pace from Gargiolo coming from the backside as well.
Chasing him down,
Nice hustle. And you'll see a lot of that all day on both sides of the ball. You know, the guys play to the whistle, and sometimes, as we saw in the end zone, that last touchdown a little bit beyond, but a lot of hustle.
Not many points so far in this championship game, but I think there's no question that's not on the offense's lacking talent. We can see there's playmakers out there on the field. There's just playmakers on defense as well for both these teams.
Guys getting shut down.
Third down coming up then for the London Warriors. Third and about 6 on the play. Allen takes the snap, he drops to pass. He's under pressure again, he has to throw it away, and it's Gargiolo again.
He started to up his game now. Oh, and Jerome's got something to say.
Jerome might have got flagged here.
That's a judgment call there from Brian.
Fab Gargiolo's playing well today, another GB player. Doing a great job out there for them. Working hard. Tess Robinson says, who else? Vernon Kay's had about 100 interceptions this season. Obviously, we'd have to consult the official stats to see if it's 100, but sounds like he's had a good season. And I think that's one of the things that when you talk about Vernon Kay playing, I think people think there's almost like a kind of novelty factor, you know, like they have him on the team because it's a good bit of publicity. But believe me, with coaches like Tony Allen down there,
he has to
if he
produce.
couldn't hold his own, if he couldn't produce, he wouldn't be on the field. And he just showed that there, you know.
So last year's Britbowl final, Vernon had missed a couple of practices, work commitments and things like that. Vernon didn't play nearly as much in that game as he has tonight. He's back out there starting.
Yeah.
You earn your right to play for these Warriors.
Most definitely. It doesn't matter if you're on, it doesn't matter if you're on TV or you're bringing publicity to the team or whatever. If you're not doing the work, you won't be getting the opportunity. So fair play to him. It's good to see.
I thought I was going to get a game. I thought just being on TV got you a game. I was ready to. Actually, I'm not going out there. Their hitting's a bit too fierce.
Yeah, I think if Ryan Medini's flying about, I'll stay up here.
So punting situation for the London Warriors. After that penalty against their quarterback, there goes the kick. And skips out of bounds, and that'll be another good field position at midfield for the London Blitz. Can they take advantage of this? They started one drive at the 45, this time they start at midfield.
Absolutely. So what about you guys at home? What do you think? Is this going to go back and forth? Do you think the Warriors can hold this one out? Do you think the Blitz will put their foot down and tire the Warriors out and finish them off? It could go a number of ways, so we'd love to hear from you. Tweet at Gridiron_TV or at Neil Reynolds NFL. Let us know what you think.
Not sure anybody had 13-9 this week for the end of the third quarter score, but here we are.
So here we go then. First and 10 for the London Blitz at midfield. Fred Boyle takes the snap. Quick hitter to Charlie Joseph. Gain of about 5 if they give him his forward progress. Gang tackle.
It was. Nice grab though by Charlie Joseph, and sometimes it's not those big game-breaking catch and runs or deep bombs over the top for a receiver. It's when you can, get a bit of possession receiver, Wes Welker style underneath, and picks up about 5 yards there. I'm not really sure where he's spotting this boy. He's kind of wandering about. Yeah, looks like he's given him about 4 yards maybe. There we go.
Second down and 6 yards to go for the Blitz. They trail by 4 in this Premier Division final. There's the handoff. It's Temi Ediemi. It's a good run up the middle. First down yardage, nice. Skips away from a tackle. Almost broke it, but it's a good run by Temi Ediemi.
Absolutely, and just a couple of little cuts. I think when people think of, running backs making cuts, they think of those total ankle breakers when you go 90 degrees in the opposite direction, but sometimes it's those little step and goes that really cause trouble for defenders.
Ediemi gets the carry again. Runs nowhere near as spectacular.
Yeah, that's it. And as we see from all the great running backs, you have those ones. You'll get those short yards, and then you break a big one. And he had a couple at the start of the last blitz drive where he got 10 yards ago on a couple of plays. So his stats will be ticking over nicely.
Fred Boyle takes the snap. He's got plenty of time to throw this time. Nothing open downfield. He has to take off and run. Now he better look out. Oh, Fred Boyle, what a move. Picks up the first down.
Fred Boyle.
We talk about neat footwork from running backs, well quarterbacks.
Yeah, that's it. Just those little cuts, and he didn't look like from here he had much room between him and the sideline, but he made it all count and picks up the first down. And look at them lined up and ready to go already. They're absolutely chomping at the bit here, and this is how you wear a defense out. And the speed also means it's very difficult for the defense to make adjustments, make personnel changes, because they know the next play is coming. So they kind of have to stay in their base formation.
I was going to say Fred Boyle's turned into the British version of Tim Tebow, but Fred already throws the ball better than Tim Tebow. So here we go with the handoff. It's up the middle, couple of yards.
And I've never met Tim Tebow's dad, but I can tell you, Paul Boyle will have better banter than Tim Tebow's dad, definitely. Fred's dad's a great chat, and he's somebody that does a lot for the sport as well, makes a lot of the Blitz's videos, the highlights under wobble cam you'll see on YouTube. And great guy.
So first down for the London Blitz. They trail by 4, but they're knocking on the door. Fred Boyle and flags on the play.
Scott Moore said he turned down going to the pub to watch this game. Turned out he made the right decision because this one's going right to the wire. I think you could be right on that one. And Connor says my boy Deji Ali killing it, getting back on. Great game, Blitz. Well, I think that's the dilemma you have when you're Nick Rockwell, the running backs coach, or Mike Callan, the OC. Is you've got Deji, who's a beast, and you've got Temi, who's a beast, and in the same way as we saw from the Warriors backs, when they had Kingsley and then they pulled them out for a different style. It's great to have the options.
So first and 15. Handoff up the middle. It's Deji Ali, and there's not much there. Stiffening of the Warriors defense on that play is going to bring up second and long.
There's that draw play again, the big swing round over your head as if you're throwing the ball. Fred told me about that play. He says, I swing the ball round. I don't know why people think it looks like you're throwing, but they always bite on it.
Yeah.
It doesn't ever look like a throw, but it does seem to work.
Well, as long as it works.
That's it.
Of course, remember everybody, we are looking out for our Gridiron TV Nuola MVP as well, so keep your nominations coming in for who you think's the standout performance today.
Second down for the London Blitz. Fred Boyle pump fakes, now he's going deep, he's looking for Charlie Joseph, makes the catch inside the 5-yard line. What a grab by Charlie Joseph. That's going to be first and goal for the London Blitz.
Outstanding grab, Charlie Joseph, full concentration, reversing in the corner of the field there, reels it into the 2 and falls out of bounds. There you go. I'll tell you something, when it comes to picking an MVP, it's going to be a tough call, because that's some huge talent out.
Tough game, this one for that. So first and goal for the London Blitz. Can they edge themselves back in front in this Premier Division final? Boyle takes the snap, he's going to keep it himself, and he fumbles. Ball's loose, and the Warriors recover. Ariel Mafondo, number 30, looks like he's got that ball. Big turnover for the London Warriors.
So disappointing. So disappointing for Fred Boyle there. That's it looks like Ariel Mafondo caused and recovered that himself. That's an outstanding play, and even when he's not making big hits, and we said he's been a little bit quiet since the first quarter, but what a time to come up with it inside the 2-yard line, causing the turnover.
Red zone and turnovers, they're keys in any American football game, and certainly that could come back to haunt the London Blitz right there. So the last time the Warriors were here, they ended up conceding a safety, and there is a flag on the play. Looks like they're going to be pushed back even further. Did they run out of time?
Gareth Thomas says, my boy at Omo DJ and Cardiff Cobra alum will score the winning TD. Hashtag beast mode. Apparently you can always tell when Kingsley's enjoying his football because he wiggles his backside prior to the snap, so we'll keep an eye out for that, see if it's true.
Same with my Labrador puppy when she's going for a walk.
Yeah, there you go. Maybe that's where he got the idea from.
So here we go, first down for the London Warriors. Big turnover, and can they take advantage? There's Kingsley Egiov, he's broken it to the outside, and good gain out across the 20-yard line. Breathing room for the London Warriors after that big run from Egiov.
That's just what you need when you've been backed up against your own goal line, is break some yards, or give yourself some room to work so it's less of the kind of threat of a safety. We're still 13-9 here to the Warriors, so not much in it.
Yes, a 4-point game here in the Premier Division final, a cagey affair, and it's more Kingsley Egiog trying to impose his will on that blitz defence, and he drives forward, gain of about 7 or 8, and his teammates love that effort from Kingsley Egiog.
Yeah, and that's when you see those offensive linemen really earning their money as well, you know, getting their feet churning, and when the pile's there, just get it moving, and they push that from what would have been about a 3-yard gain to a 7-yard gain. And
the Warriors will be well aware here, if the touchdown on this drive suddenly gives them a bit of breathing room. An 11-point game's a very different type of game.
Absolutely, that's a 2-touchdown game then suddenly, and they'll be looking to push one in here.
What a drive it would be as well from their own goal line.
Yeah, that would be the biggest. Jeez.
We're moving fast here. It's a fast-moving game after 3 quarters of the Premier Division final.
Yeah,
it's the London Warriors 13, the London Blitz 9.
We thought the same thing when they called the 2-minute warning at the end of the first half, but that third quarter's flown in. And I guess because we've seen the Warriors really pushing that run game a bit harder, it's starting to chew it up a little bit more than, because they had quite a few incomplete passes in the first half, but less so this time. Bit of a chill in the air now. It's almost pitch black outside. It's just the stadium lights keeping the place nice and bright, but definitely a bit colder than it was at the start of the day, and that'll start to play on a few of the guys on the sideline. It's important that they keep themselves warmed up, because when they need to jump in, if you go in cold, that's when you tweak muscles and have pulls and all sorts.
I'm just going to listen to this song. I quite like this one.
Bit of House of Pain, jump around. Stadium classic in these environments.
Yeah.
I think this is on the compilation now. That's why I call Britbowl 27.
Right, let's really need this fourth quarter.
John Bon Jovi says, really can't believe there have been 2 turnovers in the red zone. We're all over them, and then we do when we get down there. It's true. It's if you can run the ball 98 yards, it's all well and good, but when you turn it over on the 1-yard line,
you've got to finish the deal.
13-9. Where's the trophy going? It's still up for grabs.
Let's play football!
I think he might have stolen that catchphrase from darts. Straight from the lakeside. Let's play darts.
Well, there's a little bit of confusion here with the referees. Just got to make sure they've got everything right before they go.
And the Warriors running the ball out here from their own 27-yard line, 28-yard line, so... Oh, it's exciting stuff, this.
It's a great game, this one, it really is.
So little to choose.
So little between these two teams. We know the rivalry, the history between them. London rivals going head to head. It's all on the line. There's 1 quarter left to play. And here's Jerome Allen looking to his left, trying to fire downfield. He's going for his man. Ed Morgan breaks it up. Pass was intended for number 17, Taylor Burke. And Ed Morgan, the veteran safety, the Great Britain safety. Nice defensive play.
Yeah. Had the opportunity to pick that off. I think he'll be kicking himself, because it seemed to just kind of get caught in the lights, maybe the way he was looking, but it just dipped over his shoulder rather than into his hands, but at the same time breaking up the play. It's still 3rd and about 4.
Great Britain player and Great Britain captain. Got it in to break up the play there.
Third down and about 4 for the London Warriors, and they lead by 4. Allen takes the snap. It's Kingsley Egiog. He's got running room down the left side. Skips into the secondary. Strong run, and it's a first down run to the 40-yard line.
Jeez, that's impressive stuff. Jack Wynn's asking who's number 23 for the Blitz. That's Deji Ali, one of their 2 double punch running back combo, a GB player and a fantastic player, and a lovely guy as well. And yeah, that was his counterpart on the Warriors there, Kingsley, just smashing home a big run just when they needed it too, and he's taking them all the way up to the 40-yard line. Great job staying his feet, and again what we talked about in the first game about those veteran guys, and you know the thing you see with a lot of American players is keep running your feet and good things will happen, and he pushed out extra yards at the end of that run.
1st and 10 on the 40-yard line. Allen, low snap. Eggiog fields that and he's dropped, so that's going to be a loss for about 6. Bad snap.
Yeah, disappointing, but good heads-up play by Kingsley, but like we talked about, a bit of a greasy surface now there, and he just lost his balance trying to run that out of the backfield. Another 20 yards for Kingsley. The Farnham Knights loving their former players' work tonight, and rightly so. I think he's been the star of the second half for me, certainly.
Second and long coming up then for the London Warriors after that bad snap. Kingsley Eggiog with the timely recovery, but it is second down and quite a bit to go for Jerome Allen. A lot to muster here on this play. There is a blitz up the middle, hands to Eggiog and the ball is fumbled, and this time Eggiog doesn't recover the fumble, it's the blitz who recover. Big play, big turnover, and Marcus
the big Frenchman again.
Marcus Thuant with the recovery.
Gargiolo gets pulled off by Ed Morgan. Nice job. That's a nice job, because the looked like it was going to be a little bit spicy, and that cost you yards.
Kingsley Eggiog bobbled the snap, couldn't ever get his hands on that ball.
London Blitz, first down, it's football. First down, Blitz fans. So is he nerves, is he fatigue, but errors are creeping into this game now.
Depending which way it goes. So here we go then. Big turnover for the London Blitz. Kingsley Eggiog with that fumble. Fred Boyle sends a man in motion. Hands off to Temi, Eddie Emi. Nice run. Only a couple, but he makes something out of nothing there.
He does, yeah. There wasn't an awful lot to work with, but good running from Temi. Motion there from Trips into the 2x2, their doubles formation, and then just ran that inside zone.
So the London Blitz couldn't convert last time. They had great field position with the fumble. Can they do so this time? Second down coming up. Boyle takes the snap, pump fakes to the left. Now he's going back to the left. Now there's pressure. Rolls away to his right. Can he find a receiver? No, he's going to tuck it and run again. Big collision. Oh! They are playing for keeps out there. What a hit. What a run by Fred Boyle.
Jeez. Outstanding stuff. Rolled out a long way. Great pickup there from his running back, and when he comes down the line, bam. And the thing I love about Fred, and I guess it's it's love and hate in equal measures. He doesn't go down easy, it's never die easy like Walter Payton. He'll fight for every yard.
Now the handoff to Temi Odiyemi, and he comes up short. Ariel Mafondo with the tackle. That is a big play by the Warriors defense, and now we have a decision to make. They're down by 4. They're in the fourth quarter. We've got to go for it, right? Fourth down.
I'd say so. I mean, it's still quite a long way out for a field goal because they haven't really tested that unit. And I'd say, there you go.
The middle.
There you go.
And I think, depending on the spot, he looks like Fred Boyle has the first down. We'll wait, and the signal is first down.
Yeah. You've got to love that though. The Warriors player sneaks in at the end and just moves the ball back a yard. Just back a little bit. That's it. Freddie Bongo there. Just when you need him, smashes out a yard, gets a first down. Nice job.
First down for the London Blitz, and there's whistles on the play. Timeout called by the. Whoa.
Getting a little bit over friendly out there. Unsurprisingly, my good friend Rob Hardy right in the thick of it. The big salt and pepper haired left tackle. Rob Hardy, fantastic player. Used to play for the Bristol Aztecs and then moved to London for work, and he's been playing there the last few years. But again, another GB player and another fantastic talent. And he likes a dust up at the end of a play as well. Unlike their centre Matt Mayer, who likes a dust up during the play, and he likes to typically snap the ball and then either poke you in the eyes or grab your face cage. But he gets the job done, and that's what counts. Jumbo and Jovi saying he's still got a feeling that Charlie Joseph or Daly are going to come up with a big play for the Blitz. A lot more turnovers than expected, a pick each, a fumble each, plus the safety. Time to push on now for the Blitz, he says.
There have been some mistakes, but I think, again, you go back and I think we always tend to focus on who's going to score the points, who's on offense, but let's not get away from. There's some fantastic athletes on both defenses here.
Ridiculous. Absolutely superb play on both sides of the ball. Watching from Dubai, Blitz to win, defense too good. M. Ray, number 33.
Nice.
It's Martin Ray giving a shout out there to his boys. Fred Boyle needs more conditioning. He's all over the place. My nan could throw a better pass. Not Connor, given that he has won 4 British Championships, the EFAF Cup, and been a captain for Great Britain and winning 2 of his 3 starts. I think it's fair to say Fred Boyle can pick a pass when he needs to, but at the same time, you know, your nan could actually have mad skills, so I don't want to...
Let's not be too down on his nan.
Exactly.
We haven't seen his nan.
I got a lot of love for Connor's nan.
So Fred Boyle rolls to the right. He's going to have time to throw. He tucks it away again, picks up 2 or 3 skips out of bounds.
That was less of a skip and more of a leapfrog there. I think he was expecting someone to go low and he just makes sure he's out of the way of it. But great coverage of the Britbowl game, guys. Can we get a shout out for Shep, Misha and the rest of the UEA Pirates? UEA Pirates are Nick Rockwell, the running back coach for the Blitz's team, so good luck to them this season, and all the other guys, especially my boys at the Napier Knights I know are watching back home, so all of you guys, good luck with the uni seasons coming up.
Second down coming up for the London Blitz. They trail by 4. They need a touchdown here. Fred Boyle hands off. Big run up the middle. Orion Madabi has first down yardage.
There you go. Orion picks a first down to the 5-yard line, and that's a great job. They're 4 points behind and they're inside the 5 now. They've been in these situations a couple of times and they've turned the ball over, so this is going to be about concentration and execution.
So the defending champions are knocking on the door. Can they break into the end zone? It's Orion Madabi spins away from one. Good, strong defense by the London Warriors, but it's going to bring up second down and goal to go.
Second and goal on the 3 of the 4 there, but they just run the same play again, you know, run that, take what you can get, run that.
Not huddling up, not allowing the Warriors to make too many substitutions.
They just managed to get Vernon Kay off there and get somebody on, and it's so difficult as a defence to keep guys fresh when you're moving at this pace.
Second down then, and goal to go. Fred Boyle from the pistol formation takes the snap, inside handoff to Deji Ali, and Ariel Mafondo, number 30, at the heart of everything the Warriors do defensively. He makes the tackle. He's going to bring up a big third down.
Even when he's not the one, I mean, there's Jeff Brown getting off the pile. Even if Ariel's not the one that's in there making the big hits like he was in the first quarter, he's never far from the play, and he came off the edge there with crazy speed, so good job there. Here we go again though, third down inside the 5.
Got to assume this is 2-down territory for the London Blitz.
Of course, I would say so. It's hard to tell without a clock to know because if they were to take a field goal just now, it looks like we've got a timeout. If they were to take a field goal now, then they would still be 1 point in it, and a field goal could feasibly win it for them later on, but it's whether they're going to get the chance or whether the Warriors will be able to run the clock out. It's very hard to tell without a time.
It's 7:30.
I'll let Fred Boyle know that. Fred, it's 7:30. Jeff Brown coming off, quick change of personnel in the defence. There's a couple of guys on their knees just catching their breath for the D, but like I say, it's the fact that when you run a no huddle, the defence can't substitute personnel to keep fresh, and they also can't make many adjustments. They have to stay in their base formation, which gives you the opportunity to pick them apart.
Advantage, absolutely. So here we go then, this is a big play, third down and goal for the London Blitz. This could be 2-down territory, given that we are in the 4th quarter. Boyle sends a man in motion. Fred Boyle takes the snap, he's going to look to Jack Daly, and it's a touchdown for the London Blitz. They are back in front in this Premier Division final.
I tell you something, all of these players that we talked about before the game as ones to watch are coming up big. We've seen Orion Ariel Mafondo all over the field. You know, we've seen both quarterbacks get it done, and there's Jack Daly.
So Fred Boyle can pick a pass.
He can, yeah. Although I reckon Connor's nan would probably have a tighter spiral, but you know, it's Fred Boyle can still get it done when he needs to. Nice job. Touchdown Blitz.
So Fred Boyle with the touchdown pass to Jack Daly to make it 15-13 to the London Blitz. And now Daly is on to attempt the extra point to make this a 3-point game. There's the snap, good hold. Daly's kick is up and good. And it is the Blitz who are chasing a 5th consecutive national title, who now lead 16-13 in the 4th quarter.
Jack do it all Daly there, kicks, it's like Sevens rugby. You know, he scores the try and converts it himself. It's a touchdown for Daly, and then the point after all done himself. But a fantastic player, and I know he's somebody that Mike Callum's been really excited to have as part of their offense this year, and he complements some fantastic players and makes a good replacement for Rod Bradley, who was obviously a big part of their offense for a number of years.
These Blitz players, they just look like a big-time team.
Oh,
you know, they lost to the Warriors twice in the regular season last year, turned it around at Sheffield in the Britbowl. They lost to the Warriors this year in the regular season. but the Blitz don't seem fazed by that, and they're still playing their game, and they still have that sort of championship look about them. Yeah, both these teams will be worthy champions.
Which is a risky strategy when you're running against the clock and coming from behind.
But do you think both these teams have really taken to the ground game now? Though, as you said, you mentioned the conditions earlier. It has dropped temperature-wise. It is a slicker field. We've not seen nearly the amount of stretching of the field that we saw in the first half.
Absolutely, and I guess another factor that we've got to consider is now the floodlights are on and it's only floodlights providing the light, and it's a very different lighting condition, and it's very seldom that any of these guys will ever play under floodlights.
Right, exactly, we'll
so
play on a Sunday afternoon.
Absolutely, so taking a hand off in the floodlights is one thing, but making a catch from a high ball is a very different one.
So the London Warriors, they trail by 3 in the third quarter. What have they got in their locker? And it's Kingsley Egiog. Nice run, spins away from a tackle, gets about 7 on the play.
He just keeps on going, Kingsley, and another guy who's been there and done it all and not fazed by, the touchdown. Comes out and picks up about 7 yards there. Nice job. John Bon Jovi, get in there, Jack Daly. I told you to make a play. Well, you're right enough. Right enough.
Second down coming up for the Warriors. Here is Kingsley Egiog again to the outside. They shut off the outside. He tries to spin back in. Gets gang tackled. Maybe picks up a yard on the play. It's going to bring up a third and about 2 yards for the Warriors, and that is going to be a big play coming up.
Stream down again, or just us? I think the stream is down, is it? Some challenges with that.
Coming up, the Warriors trail by 3. 1 on their own.
16-13, so yeah, they've got to be pushing on, and it's not a time when they want to be turning the ball over on a punt.
No, and if they are keeping the ball on the ground, the Warriors here is going to eat up some of the clock, and they have to make this drive count. They have to make this play count. It's third down. It's Kingsley Egiog, of course, tripped up by Ed Morgan just as he was about to get into open field, but it is a first down run for the London Warriors.
Yeah, good tackle by Morgan in that situation, but Kingsley does enough to get that first down and keep the chains moving and keep the drive alive, because if they go to a 4th and 1 situation, then they get stuffed. It's tough.
This has been Kingsley Egiog's half in terms of the London Warriors offense. They stretched the field a lot in the first half, the Warriors. This half, they've come out running the football. They only have 13 points to their name, and they need another score. They trail by 3. They have a first down at their own 43-yard line. It's Jerome Allen working out the pistol formation. He takes a snap. He is going to throw this time. He's under pressure. He has to slide to his left. He may have to take off and run with this one. He does. Picks up about 4 or 5 on the play before getting out of bounds.
And I think that's the first time we've really seen him have to run. We saw the slide in the first half, but that's him actually having to... He does the sensible thing as well, getting to the sideline rather than sliding for the easy yards, because it stops the clock. But good job, Jerome.
He's just received a terrible spot there, I think. They gave him 2 yards on that play.
I would thought it looked a lot more like 5.
So that was only 2 yards on the play. Here comes a blitz right up the middle. Egiog breaks away. Marcus Thuent on the blitz.
Yeah, that was the 48 and 49 combo. Marcus Thuent untouched in the B-gap blitz there, and then once the ball gets across the line of scrimmage, Fab Gargiolo in there with a great tackle.
Egiog does well to get back to the original line of scrimmage on that play. Could have been dropped for a big loss.
Absolutely, that was almost a Jadavian Clowney play last year. He just burst through and crushes the running back in the backfield. But
the one play that's going to make him a
that's the
first
one
round
play that's
draft
going to make him $50 million guaranteed. Yeah.
So after that play, it is 3rd and 9. And you have to feel that the Warriors will go to the air on this play. They've got 2 wide receivers to the bottom of your screen. They've got a wide receiver to the top, 2 men in the backfield. Jerome Allen takes the snap and he is going to pass. He looks downfield. He has to tuck it away and run. Again, good coverage. Can Allen get away? He doesn't. He's tripped up and dropped. Short of a first down is Alessandro Modebi.
Nice job. That's both the Modebi brothers earned their keep today. One in the backfield and one as a linebacker. Nice job there. That's key tackle there, because he looked like he was going to break away for a first down, but they've pulled him short about 4 yards. And now this is it.
This is the game, I think, right here. This could be. Warriors are just across midfield. They're at the 49-yard line. It's 4th down and 4. It looks like they're going to go for it. So there you have it. 6 minutes and 45 seconds left. London Blitz 16, the London Warriors 13. 4th down and 4 coming up.
That is a fantastic question.
It's exciting stuff. The ball's pretty much halfway down the field, which means your whole playbook's open to you, but they've got, 4 yards to go to get a first down. We've had the word through, we've got about 800 fans here today in attendance over the course of the day, which is great news. And again, it just shows the relevance of having a stadium this size rather than the 15, 20, 25,000 seater stadiums we've used in the past, where you'd get 1,000 people over the course of the day. It's a much more sensible size of stadium, and good job to everyone who organised. I know Andy Fuller from the university leagues has been instrumental in the organisation, and a lot of volunteers we've seen. A lot of the Britbowl diehards, guys like Gary Lee from the Nighthawks, Steve Hannington from the Bulls, a lot of those guys, Mark Harrison from the Bombers, a lot of the diehards get their hands dirty, and it's lovely to see, and we do appreciate all the work these guys put in for the sport.
So here we go, 6 minutes and 45 seconds left in the 4th quarter. A big 4th down and 4 coming up for the London Warriors. They've got 2 wide receivers, bottom of your screen, 1 to the top. It's Jerome Allen working out the pistol formation. Takes the snap, bobbles it a little bit. He's going to look downfield. Pressure, he's running away. Now he's trying to make something happen. Hits his man, and that is Ian Jacquet completes the pass. That is going to be a first down. Big play.
I tell you something, from where I'm sitting, that was an interesting spot, because he was certainly across the 45-yard line, but when he came back and caught the ball,
slid back across.
Yeah, exactly. But there you go, first down just when they needed it, and that is an outstanding job keeping the play alive, because if they hadn't got that, I think it would have been difficult. It would have been difficult for them.
And that's often a play there where the quarterback's under pressure, where you would normally throw it away.
Yeah, absolutely. In this situation, he's thinking, I can't afford to do that. I've got to make something happen. He's coming over and get a bit of refreshment, a bit of guidance from his head coach and father.
Dad, can I get extra pocket money after
that?
Yeah,
that's. I think his dad would agree to it.
Let's finish the game, son.
But there's still work to be done.
They needed 4.5. They got 4.5 and about another centimetre after that. So it was a big play. Really was needed to keep this drive alive. And now it's 1st and 10 for the Warriors at the London Blitz 45-yard line.
Yeah. So shout out to MVP for the left guard for the Warriors, who's not put a foot wrong all game. Shame the limelight strays away from the trenches. I'd agree for that, and I think I've given a shout out to quite a few of the linemen today doing a good job. It's just, I guess, when people are used to the big plays of the NFL and the NCAA, they tend not to pay much attention to the big guys there getting their hands dirty. But
you're talking like an old offensive lineman. You're seeing stuff out there I'm not even looking at. Blocks and schemes and gaps. I mean, I think we've given the linemen a bit of love.
Yeah, I'd say so, and I think that's a fair shout. I think both offensive lines have done a fantastic job, and they deserve all the credit they get.
There's another stoppage in play.
Yeah, absolutely. There's
time out for the Blitz.
Connor's asking how long's left. No game clock on screen. There's no game clock in the stadium either, I'm afraid, Connor. So we're going by best guess, but it's a timeout for the Blitz. We've not had the 2-minute warning yet, so we're still within that.
6 minutes 45 a few plays ago.
Just called it there. 6 minutes and 23 seconds.
There you go. 6 minutes 23 to go. So still time for plenty of work to go both ways, but yeah, interesting times. 1st and 10 at pretty much the Blitz 45-yard line for the Warriors.
So last few chances for you to vote for your MVP for today. It's obviously a very difficult decision because this game could go either way. So keep in mind a few guys together. We've got a small list running here. A few guys right up at the top of the list, but we want your votes as well. So tweet them into @Gridiron_TV and also send them to our Facebook page, which is Gridiron TV.
Yeah, a couple of guys here. Stuart Holland, who's another one of the GB players that I spent a bit of time with, saying Fab's having a great game, MVP vote here. That's Fab Gargiolo, number 49. That's a great call.
So 1st down for the London Warriors. The Blitz show blitz. And Jerome Allen fires downfield. He's got Romaine Jackson. Can he make the catch? Yes, he can. And he's into the end zone. What a grab. And it's a touchdown for the London Warriors.
Well, I never. Finally, the deep bomb works, and it's Romaine Jackson on the end of it for his 3rd score of the day.
Wow, wow, wow. Romaine Jackson with his 3rd touchdown catch of this Premier Division final, and Jerome Allen putting the ball on the money.
1916 with the Warriors.
Well, what a final we've had here at Britbowl 27. Back and forth they go. It's the Warriors who lead by 3. Can Ian Jacquet add on the extra point?
Looks like it's gone wide left. No good.
And the extra point is no good. So, with 6 minutes left, it's 19-16. The Warriors lead. I'm losing my voice. Try and get some.
Wow, what an unbelievable game so far. So back and forth, even more so than last year. So, a few minutes left in this game here. Let's see what comes of it.
Come on, Blitz, man. Let's hear you.
Well, there we go.
I
I think that's kind of it looked like the Warriors drive was kind of stalling there. I think that's really caught people by surprise.
Yeah, that drive there was 78 yards across 8 plays. So,
And that catch on 4th and 4 to Jacquet. That key catch from Allen to Jacquet on the 4th and 4, the conversion there that they needed, or maybe it was 3rd and 4 that they that was the thing that kept that drive alive. And outstanding play from the Warriors offense, getting it done.
So here's Orion Dejiali on the return. Dejiali with good yardage out across the 35-yard line. And here come the Blitz. This game goes back and forth, back and forth. 2 teams worthy of a championship. Which one is going to lift this Britbowl title?
Fred Boyle gets his guys lined up. Here we go. Here we go. So they've got Temi in the backfield. They're going trips left. And they're coming out from their own 36-yard line.
So here we go then, trips left. Boyle sends a man in motion. Takes the snap, he hands it off. Odiyemi up the middle, good yardage. Picks up about 7 on the play.
Just had a couple of tweets there from Simon Hatcher, who's a big defensive coach there at the University of Hertfordshire Hurricanes, and he said got to be a defensive MVP, and then tweeted back after that and said, or Romaine, lol.
Yeah.
And to be fair, 3 touchdown performance from the receivers.
That'll get you a lot of MVP awards. Here's Fred Boyle looking to his left. Now he's back. He's got a man wide open, and he hits him. Slips down, but it is a 1st down catch.
Andrew Cropper, nice job. And he's
That was
popped up.
Michael. That was our buddy Michael. Michael
Abajudi, yeah. Abajuade.
Blitz.
Apparently they call him Mike A at the Blitz.
Yeah, I bet they
I'm
do.
reliably informed.
Mike A, you with the catch. We'll do the same here. So first down. Boyle responds well for the London Blitz. 1st and 10. Hand off to Odiyemi up the middle. Driving again. Nice. Good gain, about 5 or 6. Good push up front again.
And that's it, 6 yards smashed out there. And they'll be inside the 5 minutes now. And the clock's still ticking over. Another vote for an MVP there. Somebody suggesting, of course, our French associate saying our French associate should get it. So number 48, threw on for the Blitz MVP.
2nd down. Blitz trail by 3. 19-16. Boyle takes the snap, hands to Temi Odiyemi, and that's another 1st down run. Right at the heart of that Warriors defense.
Nice job. Scott Moore saying thanks for making sure the offensive line get the credit, because they hardly do nowadays. Big game for the Warriors O-line, I'd agree. And as we're showing there, big game for the Blitz O-line. You know, they had the big inside run game at the start. I think the Blitz O-line started the first half better, and I think the Warriors O-line started the second half extremely well.
So this game remains in the balance. It's a 3-point game in the 4th quarter. Mix up in the backfield. Fred Boyle keeps the ball himself. Nice move. Picks up about 5 or 6 on the play, but there is a flag down, and that is in the area of offensive holding. We will wait and see.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it is a hold.
Hold on, possibly Rob Hardy, it looks like. Romaine Jackson, MVP, he earned it, says a waking paradox. Tony Atherstmith, how important are the 2 missed PATs for the Warriors right now? Possible tie game, true story.
Yeah, very true.
True story, and we said special teams, and we talked about it all the way through. It's the difference maker. Deji MVP, says Connor.
That is a big difference actually when you think about that. And, yeah, it shows how astute Tony is to be right on the ball with that. You forget about it with everything that's going on and the big plays. You know, if this is a touchdown game right now, it's very, very different.
Absolutely, it's the little ones. Yeah, that's Fab should definitely get the MVP. That's another one for Fab Gargiolo.
Well, in time on a tradition, we'll wait and see who wins, won't we?
Well, that's it. Yeah. We'll put one on each side and then we'll pick whoever wins.
Hey, it's good enough for the Super Bowl MVP. It's good enough for us. So here we go then. 1st down and 15. Fred Boyle takes the snap, steps up under pressure. He gets to the outside. Now we know he can move, and so can Ariel Mafondo, and he drags him down.
Ariel Mafondo drags him down for a gain of about 6 yards there, which will take him to 2nd and 3, I would say. Yeah, Jackson getting a lot of love here. Let's go London Warriors. We can still pull this off. We're made of champion stuff from youth program to seniors. You're not wrong, and that's why these 2 teams are good at what they do, especially the Warriors. They built from the ground up. We talk about some of these old boys, but they've got a lot of talent in there that's come from youth right through.
A lot of young players on both teams. There's only one of these teams that's got over the finish line as a senior champion. That's the Blitz. Once the Warriors do it, you feel they can do it time and time again. Here goes Temi Odiyemi. It's a big run. And there's another hold. That's a 1st down run, but it looks like it's coming back for the London Blitz, and that will be frustrating
for sure. And that was another, just like we talked about earlier on, that draw play. Fake the pass, a hole opens up when the pass rush comes, and you just send your running back through it, and it's going to come back for a hold.
You really don't want these kind of penalties now in such a key situation.
Not at all. Warriors player on the ground at the moment, just at the point where the tackle was made. Although he looked like he was going to do the boy band style get off the ground by doing a backflip thing, but he's okay, up and about. Jeff Brown, up and about. Just jogging off.
That's a big penalty. You've still got plenty of time to drive down, but it's going to just...
There we go. It's disappointing for the offensive line, especially when we're saying what a good game they've been having. That's a couple of key penalties they've given away with holding.
Especially now, it's right at this stage of the game. Big 1st down run, wiped off the board. Just a field position as well when you're trying to get a field goal. Tie things up.
Now they're back almost on the halfway line, back on the 49-yard line.
Those are drive killers, those kind of penalties.
Romaine Jackson has to have it, man. How can it be anyone else? 3 TDs. Good point, Johnny McKillop. Romaine Jackson.
So 2nd down and 25 yards to go for the Blitz, who've hurt themselves with penalties on this drive. Boyle takes the snap. Fires the pass intended for Mike A. Makes the catch.
Makes the grab, slides out of bounds, stops the clock as well. Nice. They're calling that incomplete.
Incomplete.
Yeah, must have been out of bounds before he made the grab. Jamie Charles says, Mafondo's had a monster game. The man's an athlete. He's my MVP. Mike A should get the MVP just for the name, says Tim Thomas. The only problem is we wouldn't be able to fully announce him, so
they never fit on the trophy.
Yeah, for that reason, unfortunately, he's ineligible.
Engraver would have a nightmare. Here's Fred Boyle, drops the pass. He's got time this time.
Screen.
Over the middle. Nothing doing, and who is it at the heart of that defence again? Big hit, Ariel Mafondo again, leading the way for the London Warriors.
And now we're in one of those situations where a punt probably wouldn't even get them the first down. They're looking at punt about 21 yards maybe.
And we are about to see a punt and then a healthy dose of Kingsley Egion.
I think we are. Kingsley, rake the grass out of your cleats. It's time to do some work.
So Jeremy Sims back to receive. Is this another fake, or are they going to punt? It's a high snap, and things are going terribly wrong for the London Blitz now. This championship could be slipping through their fingers as we speak. And the punt finally goes out of bounds. But they're great field position now for the London Warriors.
Yeah. It only goes around 10 yards, so the Warriors are going to take the ball. And first and 10 around the 25.
Leon Jackson got a bit excited for the Warriors there. Number 2 trying to field that. Don't get greedy now, you've had a big play there.
Yeah, I think just let the ball go out of bounds, take it when it comes. If that bounces off you, then the ball's live again, you're in a world of hurt. So, to be fair, good heads-up play, although Fab did that thing you do when you're trying to pick up a ball and you keep kicking it out in front of you, so you kind of got unlucky, but he did a good job from making a bad play a little bit better, recovering off the end of it, but that could have been a horrible situation.
So the Warriors are in front by 3. They have great field position at the Blitz 29-yard line. Is the finishing line in sight for the Warriors seeking their first title. This Kingsley Egion, and he's dropped for a loss.
Yeah, Thulon again. Nice job with the Frenchman making the tackle. Graham says, I'm sure a high school team would tear these two sides apart. Errors all over the field. Well, it depends. If it was a high school team with Connor's nan at quarterback, with her arm, you just never know. A combination of all the odd suggestions.
I think in any level of football there are mistakes that are forced as well. They're not just unforced, and these mistakes are being forced by good play from some of the defensive players. So I think that's probably a tad harsh, that one, but we're enjoying it anyway, and it's a back and forth game. Here comes Jerome Allen, hands it off. Kingsley Egion with the run, spins back to about the 30-yard line. It's going to be a third down.
Very elusive for someone that's quite powerful inside the tackles. You know, it's great running. Touch, it's time out to the Blitz. And they're going to have to burn some timeouts here to give themselves enough time on the clock to get a score back.
Try and hear how long is left.
Mike A for MVP, and another shout out to the offensive lineman there. So certainly no shortage of options.
So there we are. We are inside the 2-minute warning. 1 minute and 58 seconds left. With the London Warriors looking to ice this and take that Britbowl title. They lost the last 2 years to the London Blitz. Are they about to win their first one here against their big rivals?
And it'll be the first national championship if it happens for Tony Allen for quite some time, because he was a long-time head coach of the Olympians during their dynasty before Rick Ayub take over. So at the senior level it'll be a long overdue title for Tony if it happens.
They've been close as well. They've been close, the last couple of years, feeling like they're building towards something. They now need to put this game on ice, and it'll be Kingsley Egion, I assume, who's going to get the handoff here and try and control that clock. Third down coming up. We're at the 2-minute warning. 1:58 left in this Premier Division final. Blitz are showing blitz again. Jerome Allen is going to throw. There's a blitz off the corner, and he throws down the left sideline. Pass intended for Jeremy Sims falls incomplete.
And that's
so they're not sitting on it.
No, absolutely not. That's one of those plays where the like we talked about in the first half, where the corner's kind of tied up with the receiver. There's no infraction, but it just means he's not running at full speed. So, in a training drill, he throws the ball exactly where he's been, but with that little bit of that little bit of bump, it's just slightly in front of him.
Defense, and they're going for it. They are going for it on fourth down. Fourth and about 9. Would you not try and pin them in a little bit?
Challenge it, isn't it? Another Mike A for MVP, just because he's my dude. Mike A for MVP, good effort trying to say his name. It's Abu Jode.
Not that good an effort. We gave up in the end. Just started calling him Mike A. Someone say Connor's nan for MVP. Jerome Allen under pressure. Rolls to his right. He's got a man downfield. It's going to be touchdown! Oh, wow! In and out of the hands, and Ramon Jackson has his 4th touchdown of this Premier Division final, and that is all she wrote from Leeds. In and out of the hands of the defensive back, and Ramon Jackson has his 4th touchdown of the night.
Well, I guess when you're looking for an MVP,
There you are.
and there have been 4 touchdowns for the winning team, and all 4 touchdowns have been scored by the same person, it does kind of, tip your hand somewhat.
Yeah, I think he's towards the top of the list right now.
Yeah, absolutely. I still think Connor's nan's in with a shout though. If you're interested, at Gridiron_TV, and then just throw in the hashtag Connor's nan. I want to hear her getting some love.
Connor's nan's getting some.
My boy Jamie Archibald back home at the night saying 3 TDs, no question, MVP.
So it's not quite the Jackson 5, but it has been the Jackson 4 for the London Warriors. Now they're going to look for the extra point.
A little bit of over celebration there on the Warriors' behalf. Good play. Good play. Absolutely. Wow. And they pull away. 25-16 at the moment. Extra points have got.
So 25-16 for the London Warriors. Not quite the Jackson 5, but certainly the Jackson 4 has been the difference between these teams. Can Ian Jacquet tack on the extra point? There's the snap. Kick is deflected, but goes through and is good. And so it's now 26-16. The Warriors have a 10-point lead, and we're inside 2 minutes in this game.
Well inside it now. 3 TDs, no question for MVP. Hashtag grabs for Jesus. My boy Jamie Archibald back home. Thanks to the coverage stream, I chose the Britbowl over College game day today. Glad I did. It's been a great game, certainly.
Nice, like that.
Yeah. Has to be Romaine Jackson for MVP. The title's ours, London Warriors. Hashtag Connor's nan for MVP. A complaint about the flag for celebration, stupidest rule in the game. We actually had a player a couple of seasons ago, one of our receivers, scored the winning touchdown in this quarter-final. In fact, scored 2 touchdowns in the quarter-final, got flagged on them both, and was ejected and missed the semi-final for celebrating.
Wow. So it's a 4-play, 32-yard drive. And as we mentioned, Romaine Jackson with his 4th touchdown catch of the night. And that one, with a little bit of good fortune attached to it.
Yeah. Under the radar, Romaine Jackson up to this point, but there's a name for your future. For your
fantasy team.
For your fantasy team, yeah.
Could do worse.
Get Megatron out, Romaine Jackson in.
So here's the kickoff. It's Orion Madabi with the return. Got an angle, he's going to get up the middle, and good field position, but it's a tough ask now for the London Blitz. Trailing by 10.
True story. Yeah, it's a lot to do now when you're a couple of scores are behind, and again the Blitz just don't really have an awful lot of time to work with. You're talking about a quick touchdown, an onside kick, a recovery, and a touchdown again. If you want to be, turning this deficit over, and I just don't think they have it in them.
Yeah, it's a huge ask. They don't have the momentum from the last quarter to build it. So looks like it's a close decision right now.
But they will start at the halfway line. London Warriors in a very prevent defence right now. The linebacker's playing about 9 yards off the ball.
Fred Boyle drops the pass. The crowd making noise in favour of the Warriors. Boyle's pass is caught by Andrew Cropper, and it's a first down. They're not quite done yet, the London Blitz.
And fair play to Andrew Cropper for finding space in a coverage that had about 7 players in it. 3 deep, 4 under. It's there's not a lot of room to work as a receiver, and you understand why they're playing this prevent. Just keep them out, bend but don't break, and keep them out of the end zone and don't let them out of the field.
Boyle drops the pass again. Dying moments this game. He's going to test deep down the middle. He's got Charlie Joseph, makes the catch. Oh, in and out of his hands. That would have been a touchdown, and that would have made things very, very interesting.
Right down the middle of the field on a post pattern there from Charlie Joseph. Unfortunate not to be able to reel that one in. Oh, apparently Connor's nan is retired. She can't play with her back, so it's disappointing to hear. That is disappointing. But I just wish Connor's nan a long and healthy retirement.
Connor's nan, you need to man up. Here we go then, second down. Boyle, flush from the pocket. He's going to look downfield to throw. He does throw and it's complete. That's Charlie Joseph over on the far sideline. That's a first down.
Nice grab, Charlie Joseph. Looks like he gets out of bounds and stops the clock.
What we need to do is have a look at referee right here.
First down and 10 on the 22-yard line.
So the Blitz refusing to go quietly into the night. They're driving. It's Fred Boyle looking to throw downfield. He's under pressure. Puts one up for Charlie Joseph in traffic and it's knocked away. Good defense from the London Warriors.
Unlucky. Charlie Joseph's in a good position, but good coverage there. Two guys all over him. And it's tough when you're dropping back as a quarterback and you see that level of coverage and you know that running the draw is not going to be the option. You've got to bomb it deep. You've still got to put it out there.
He's got to have faith in the receiver. Hope he comes up and makes a play, or at least prevents an interception.
Second down for the Blitz. Boyle under pressure and down he goes. That is a team sack. Charles Stedman making the play.
Mike A for MVP still. Connor's nan a close second / hashtag Connor's nan. And of course hashtag Connor's nan for MVP. She would have scored 5 touchdowns. Romaine Jackson, the poor man's Connor's nan.
We need to get Connor's nan to do the coin toss at next year's Britbowl.
Yeah, absolutely.
She could become a Gridiron TV legend.
That's it. That's it. All started here. It all started here. Wow.
They need to get a touchdown.
Blitz are showing that they have the heart of a true champion. No dropping of the head. So they're down by 10, but they're not refusing. They just won't go quietly. I think
they're still going to work every single play, and yeah, it's just a challenging situation, like we say. You're within touching distance of the end zone. Fred Boyle's got the arm to put it there, but the coverage is just everywhere right now. Too deep. Corner's playing 9 yards off.
So, third down for the Blitz. Boyle pump fakes. He's got time. He's going deep. And it's caught for a touchdown. Oh my goodness. Blown coverage at the end there, and the Blitz are not quite done yet.
Wow, unbelievable.
And the DB there went to make a play on that ball. He looked to jump up and pick the ball out of the air instead of just dropping back and protecting it, but no.
You wanted to kill the game right there.
Yeah, he did.
Wow, Andrew Cropper with the 26-yard touchdown pass. So this is a chance to kick the extra point. Jack Daly is on. Following that Andrew Cropper touchdown catch. And Daly's kick is up and good.
Oh, that's crucial. That is crucial.
26-23. 26-23. Now, the interesting thing is, 26-23, the Blitz don't need to score a touchdown here. All they've got to do is get in field goal range, but the challenge is they need the ball to do it. And so that says to me, onside kick first of all.
Yep.
Recover that. Simple stuff against a team like the Warriors, I'm sure. Kick it, recover it. I don't know what Daly's leg is, but I reckon he could probably put one over.
He's not looked bad on his extra point.
He's had plenty of distance.
He certainly looked stronger, the two kickers on their extra point attempts. I would predict, actually, if I want to make any prediction, massive punch up on the onside kick.
Yeah, I can see a brawl. I remember the year the Blitz lost the final to the Jets, the second year they played them, which was 4 years ago. The Jets scored kicked a field goal to win the game by, I think it was 23-22 or 22-21, something like that. And then they on the kickoff, the Blitz returned it, and they tried a lot of that kind of playground stuff, you know, pitching the ball, and by the end it was just about a brawl. I mean, it kicked off big style. So
on that drive, 6 plays, 50 yards for the touchdown. Boyle went 3 of 5, 50 yards and the all-important score. The Warriors call a timeout.
my word, this is just, there's so little time left. I mean, realistically speaking, if the Warriors recover this, it's pretty much over.
They can kneel down.
It's pretty much over. They can kneel this out, but oh, it's just tense. I guess you've got to ask yourself, what would Connor's Nan do in this situation? You know, would she onside it?
Should probably watch Strictly.
Yeah, sensible. Watch Strictly with an Ovaltine, and then a little Synatogen before bed. I think we're getting on a raga tip over the stereo here. It's a nice choice. Late in the evening, just to make that transition between Britbowl 27 Premier Final and going straight out to the club afterwards. Me and Neil Reynolds will be tearing it up in Leeds if you fancy coming to join us.
Where's Connor's Nan live?
Apparently Connor's Nan is the person who built the purple building, according to Yo Darrell. You just wonder, don't you?
There's no end to this woman's power.
Yeah, that's just... who would win, Connor's Nan or Chuck Norris? I'd take Connor's Nan right now. That's a great call, George Waring. This is the 8th straight bowl game for the London Blitz.
Wow. So here we go then. This is a massive play. 53 seconds left. The Blitz onside kick. And there's the loose football. It looks like the Warriors do recover. If they have, they will be able to take knees and take this title. Let's have a look and see who's got the ball.
Going on at the bottom of that pile.
Let's see which way the arm points. Seems to go straight into a Warrior's hand. And they have it. First down.
And it's the London Warriors ball.
Hashtag WWCND. What would Connor's Nan do? Great question. That's a great question, Scott Moore. I like the way you think. Oh, that's so unfortunate there for the Blitz. What a finale that would have been if the Blitz had the ball in hand. They'd have still had a long field to negotiate, 60 yards, but to have the ball.
Take an arthritic knee, wouldn't she?
She would do, yeah. She would do. She'd do the sensible thing for a woman of her years.
And there it is.
It's very difficult running speed option from a motor scooter. It really is.
So the Warriors are taking knees. The Blitz have called a timeout, and we are close to the end of Britbowl 27, with the Warriors closing in on their first national championship.
Only seconds left in the game. Warriors look like they're going to take another knee.
Line up. Blitz. 49 seconds left. Final timeout for Blitz.
Tom Ford says, get Connor's Nan trending. You guys are out there. Let's get to work on it. Hashtag Connor's Nan. And there we go. It's a knee. Is this it? Will the ball get raised in the air?
All spotted again by Brian Yates. It takes some seeing out this game. If anybody doesn't know what's going on, the quarterback can take a knee and that keeps the clock turning, and unfortunately for the London Blitz they can do nothing about it.
On the sideline, number 87 is ominously approaching Tony Allen with a Gatorade bucket.
So this could be the final snap of Britbowl 27. Jerome Allen drops to his knee, and there it is. The London Warriors, for the first time in their history, can claim to be Premier Division national champions. They've won Britbowl 27, 26 points to 23 against the London Blitz. The Warriors have done it.
What a game. What a game. Fantastic by both sides, and I think, you know, commiserations to the Blitz who did a hell of a lot of work on both sides of the ball and on special teams. But the Warriors, those touchdowns from Jackson, especially that last one, you know, that was the difference. That was the difference. So they played an aggressive offense. They attacked the deeper parts of the field all the way through, and Great job.
It was a great game, and thank you for having me on Gridiron TV. Shout out to Connor's nan.
Absolutely.
And congratulations to the Warriors. I'm going to get down on the field, do some interviews. Thank you, everyone. I'll catch you later.
Great stuff. Thank you very much indeed.
Great stuff. Thanks very much. And thanks very much to all of you for tuning in all day. It's been one long day of football, but what an incredible day of football, capped off by one of the best games of football I've seen all year, in fact.
That's it. And I don't think Connor's nan's ever seen the kind of coverage like she has there. Clumsy Puddle says, forget hashtag Tebow time, it's hashtag Connor's nan time.
Yeah, absolutely. We can get her up in the commentary booth for the next game, perhaps.
Connor says his nan would call a tea break in that situation, which is a sensible call. Unlucky London Blitz, sick game, great coverage from Gridiron TV. A big thank you to all you guys, as AP says, for tuning in. It's been a cracking day's football. 2 fantastic games, 4 great teams grafted right to the very end, and yeah, it's just roll on next year. Handshakes from both sides there. It's a shame somebody has to lose games like this, but the 4 years of back-to-back titles are over for the London Blitz, and what do we have now? Is it the start of the Warriors dynasty? Who will know?
Quite possibly. Both teams will still be really dominant, but as long as it comes out with great matches, we'll be eager to key in. So thank you to all for watching, but I want to say a big thank you as well to all the people working behind the scenes here at Gridiron TV, because a lot of the time people don't realise, they hear us yapping away, but they forget about the producers, the cameramen. So a big shout out to everyone who works behind the scenes at Gridiron TV to actually bring you the stream. It'd be great to see some tweets towards them as well. Stay tuned for the presentations that are coming up. We're going to have the trophy presentation, seen both teams come down and get their medals, and commiserations to some, but it's going to be a bit of a crazy one, I think, when that trophy's lifted eventually.
I think you're right. It's been long awaited. When you go to 3 finals, well, they went to 2 finals and lost them both and won the third against the same team. We did the same in Division 1, and I know how it felt when we finally, get the monkey off your back and get that win. It's a hell of a feeling, and well deserved from a team that's worked hard. So my man AP's heading down pitch side to do his presentation, sharpening that suit up there. But what a game, what a day's football. And again, I just want to say a big thanks to the Gridiron TV guys for asking me to come along. I'm not part of the Gridiron TV family as it is in terms of the guys that put in all the work, and the guys who were here till 10 o'clock last night laying the cables and all the way down to the pitch side for the sound and everything. It's a hell of a lot of work that you guys at home don't necessarily see or appreciate, but all these guys do it. None of them are paid. It's all just done as a hobby, and they do it to bring you guys a great stream and an opportunity to see this football wherever you are in the world. So, anytime they're asking for people to tweet in, just share your thoughts and let them know how you appreciate the work they do, because I know that it's always nice to hear when you're working hard how guys appreciate it. Heads are down from the Blitz guys, but big applause from the crowd there for them. So what's next for Gridiron TV? Well, there's a big game coming up at the end of October where they're going to be covering the junior GB team, and that's going to be on the 26th. And that's an opportunity for you to tune in and see some more live football. And then after that, we're on to the university season, which starts basically the weekend after. So there's going to be opportunities all over the country for them to travel about and bring you live games. And I very much suspect that Gridiron TV will be back here in the spring, bringing you the university final live again. And that's just what they do. So if you guys have anything you want to see, anything you think that's worth them covering, get in touch and let them know, and they'll see what they can do for sure.
Yeah, that's a bit obvious, actually, you know that one. Big crew of referees here. Grab any of them. Tell them I want to be.
The referees are just heading up just now, getting their medals. We're thanking them for being a part of it, from Charles Fraser McNamara, who's just taken over as BAFA chairman. And the referees, again, like I say, the officials all had a fantastic game. And yeah, I think they let the game flow pretty well. Like I say, a couple of contentious penalties in there, but that's always going to happen a game of this magnitude. And those guys did a great job at keeping the game flowing and making sure that guys were able to show what they're capable of on the field, because that's really why we watch it. But now it's time for the London Blitz to go and pick up the runners-up medals. Led by Charlie Joseph and Ed Morgan, those guys are going to head up. Disappointing for those guys, but like I say, a hell of an effort to get there and to continue doing what they've done for the last few years, which is just showing that standard across the board, the standard off the field, on the field. and all the way down to the youth and junior level. And with the quality they bring through, I've absolutely no doubt they'll be back here again very, very soon. Both Temi and Deji in the backfield had great games, and those guys can be proud of themselves and the work they've put in. It's been some hard-fought yards from the backfield, and of course Kingsley on the Warriors team as well. Another absolutely superb job. Long line of bodies. Some guys are coming down the stairs, and half the team's not even got to the stairs yet, which shows you the size of the squad. But tough breaks for them. And a long season too. I mean, these guys played their first game in Europe about April, May time, so we're looking at 5 months, 5.5, possibly 6 month seasons of games, let alone the 3 or 4 months before that of pre-season. You're looking at 10 months of the year, so I think we're all pretty hopeful that next year National Leagues football will be slimmed right down so that we're not playing it for 10 months of the year, and we'll be able to have a little bit of a tighter season and get this finished up while we've still got some sun in the sky at this time of the night.
Somebody who's done an absolutely amazing job today in organising these finals, and that's Mr. Andy Fuller.
Big shout out there from Mike Klosky, the stadium announcer, to Andy Fuller, and I think that's got to be echoed up here. He's done a cracking job with these finals, and largely flown under the radar. There wasn't an awful lot of fanfare about who was doing what or who was involved. He just did it, got his little group of helpers together and got the job done. So big shout out to Andy Fuller, and hopefully this will be the sign of things to come in terms of where we're building from with these finals. They don't need to be in a massive 20,000 seater stadium. They need to be somewhere that's compact, that's got a nice atmosphere, and that's reflective of the size of the crowd that we get.
Tough question, I know, but your feelings right now? Obviously very disappointed.
See the DC presidents down there on the sideline, never one to miss an opportunity, getting a photo with Neil Reynolds. So
The guys stay together through everything. There's a lot of mutual respect, and like I said, I'm really proud of the guys, and congratulations to the Warriors. They've worked really hard. They're incredibly physical.
A disappointed Ed Morgan giving a sideline interview just saying congratulations to the Warriors, and I think that's absolutely right. They're big rivals, but equally for a team like the Blitz to look at a team like the Warriors, they know the work that it's taken them to get to where they've got to, so it's nice to see that. And as I say, this rivalry is one that's set to run and run, so I'm sure if we don't see these two guys back in the final next year, they'll be there or thereabouts, and we'll certainly see plenty of action from them in the regular season.
We've got probably around 10 guys on the squad today who never played football before they're on the squad. It looked like I can pick all
The last of the Warriors, the Blitz coaches heading up the stairs to pick up their medals. And the Blitz guys slowly reassembling at the right-hand side of the stage. Is pretty tired, pretty disappointed. It's a long journey back to London for them.
Thanks to Ed there. It's obviously tough times to talk after a loss, so we appreciate that. Very magnanimous and defeat as well. Congratulating the Warriors on their achievement. Last year they were the London team that had lost. This year they've managed to turn it around.
And here we go.
With a team that's come up
It's only a matter of time before it's their turn to step up to the stage.
from a seed that was planted in 2005.
Long journey for those guys to come on in 8 years from not existing as a team to being here as national champions. And it's going to be interesting to see whether these guys compete in Europe next year. The winner of the British title has got an opportunity to compete in either the IFCAF Cup or Euro Bowl. And the Warriors have said in the past they're not interested in European competition, but it will be very interesting to see whether or not they step up and do it this year when the opportunity arises.
Britbowl legend Victor Mohammed leads on the London Warriors team, number 34 Victor. We've all seen Victor travel from the Ravens through to play for the Monarchs. Who can forget him scoring for the Monarchs? That really was the arrival of American football in Britain for a lot of us.
So a few old hands there going up to get the title. Victor Mohammed, number 34, Jeff Brown, Adel Mafondo, a lot of old guys who've been around the sport a long time, stepping up to pick up their first Premier title. And of course Tony Allen, who's not lifted a title since he was head coach of the Olympians. It's been a long time.
I see Coach Jerry Anderson over there. We'll try and get a word with Coach Ross Ewan as well, possibly. We'll try and get a word with a few of the other guys. Coach Allen was very kind to speak with us immediately after the win.
Lining up, taking the formation.
Okay, diehard Britbowl fans, you've stuck around. It's been worth it. Last year was so disappointing with them, but they've come back from our goals to say, you're a Britbowl champion.
And the cheer you can hear in the background is the unmistakable sound of the Warriors going to collect the title. Again, a big thanks to you all for watching, for contributing your banter, especially to Connor's Nan. She made my day.
Hey, Victor, come word with this to the fans.
So we move our focus after this game into the university season, and opportunity to give a shout out to the Birmingham Lions. Those guys have got a lot of talent on their squad since Dan Conroy, Tom Levick and Sam Marshall and AJ Crabb, 4 guys from that team that were across in Milan with the GB senior team. So a lot of talent emerging from university to senior there, and it's great to see. And those guys will be setting out their stall to lift the title again this year, they'll be hoping. Of course the guys at Hertfordshire will do whatever they can to try and stop them doing that, but it's going to be a challenge to put an end to the Birmingham Lions juggernaut. And of course the guys in Stirling will be trying to do the same. They came up close, and a few other teams out there like Derby came close as well. So I'm looking forward to seeing how the university season pans out this year. I guess Connor's Nan's probably interested as well, now that she's got a renewed interest in the sport.
And from you, are you sticking around in the game? Are you going to keep playing? Learning question, here we go. No, this is my last game. I'm going to have to stick to coaching now. Really exclusive. Victor, from all the fans here, from all the fans who followed you in this fantastic game that is American football, I would like to congratulate you for your fantastic career and the massive contribution you've made to British football. Thank you very much, Victor. It's been a pleasure.
Mike Klosky there giving the biggest thanks of the day to Victor Mohammed. I think he was getting himself a bit emotional.
Well, there we go.
That is a man crush if ever I saw one.
This was Victor Mohammed's last ever game.
And Victor Mohammed just announced his retirement, but what a game to go.
We'll be sad to see him go, but we'll celebrate his contribution. And of course, the contribution that this London Blitz team has made to British football over the years since 2005. Here it is. Here's the man I wanted to speak to. Here we go. Let's have a word with you, Jerry. 2005. You started this whole programme with Coach Allen, and look at you now, Britbowl champions. How do you feel, Jerry?
It's been an awesome time, you know. The guys up there working continuously for 8 years, really focused on them, really for the up-and-coming Warriors.
And how do you feel like that? What's the feeling for you? Are you like a proud father? Are you a proud grandfather? I don't know. How do you feel?
It's like watching my son get married at once. Totally elated for that reason. You know, seeing them pain and the joy firsthand. Great to see him, you know, get the box of their back. So made a rip
I was talking to Victor about, you know, and this again is possibly a massive cliche, but these kids have come from tough backgrounds. To be brought into this program, he's turned a lot of them around. That contribution, you must feel proud about that, Jerry.
Well, you know, as a coach, you know, you're coaching the calculate your target everything. What is the important thing is the program, and it's up to us to try and change their thinking and don't just get to be better people first and foremost and join the Warrior family and enjoy being around each other and hanging out.
And we've just heard Victor announce his retirement at the end of an illustrious career. Are you going to try and keep him in the sport? Is he going to stay in the sport? Are you going to work hardest to get him in?
Yeah, we decided we have to coordinate with our program. So we have to keep the old boys up themselves out.
So what's he going to be doing? Is he going to be coming back as a coach?
Yeah, hopefully we come back to the coach and help us with the young ones.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Coach. As ever, always a pleasure to see you at Britbowl final and up north.
Hundreds of Warriors players still collecting their trophy and medals. Lots and lots to come. Shout out to Huddle Magazine. They certainly will be full games and highlights going online from both the games today. And just remember that even when the stream goes down, sometimes locally there are connection problems. Even when the streams go down, they're still getting recorded locally, so it'll be put online later on. Bit of a sing-song breaking out in the Warriors sideline.
Play tonight from Niall Scott Grant, really an outstanding player, made a massive contribution. I'm here with Martin Richmond. Martin, we've seen some great play today from many of these players, especially let's concentrate on the Warriors.
Of course, yeah, they are the new national champions. It's been an amazing day here at the South League Stadium, though. You've got to give credit to all four teams who put on some fantastic, high-quality games. Speaking to Neil Reynolds earlier, you said a few people on Twitter have been suggesting a lot of mistakes in this game, and he put them right. He said, no, there was some excellent play on both sides of the ball. There have been a couple of turnovers, but there you go. It was good play all around.
Absolutely. And please put your hands together for the new Britbowl champions, the London Blitz!
And there it goes, finally lifting the trophy aloft for the first time in their history. The new Premier Division champions, the London Warriors.
Just one more award to be handed out here. And listen, we all know how hard this team works and to keep that team ethic going. So there's got to be one player who is crowned the Britbowl MVP. And for his outstanding contribution to the London Warriors victory, that player is Jerome Allen!
And the stadium commentators picked Jerome Allen, the quarterback for London Warriors, as their MVP. He had a cracking game, did a great job extending plays with his feet, keeping drives alive, and I think that's a worthy shout out. I think with Romaine Jackson reeling in 4 touchdowns, though, it's got to be a contentious one. But you know, there's no doubt that every one of those guys on offense and defense and special teams contributed to the victory in some way. So nice job from all of them. It's odd, they seem to have played every Queen song now except We Are the Champions, which you would assume is the natural choice for having won something, but no rush, boys, just when you're ready.
Thank you for supporting British football.